night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, never trust anybody. Good evening and welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination in this IT nightmare we call the International Fake Station. We're flying flat and level along with my good friend and co-host Sumting Wong, who is here to make sure that we maintain that level altitude across our beautiful plane. Want to welcome everybody that's here tonight. Wow. You got a good group already. We got Greg, the likely suspects, Barbara and Greg. You guys show up always like right together all the time. Is there something we need to know here? Anyway, just kidding. You got Riley. Don't need no more rumors going around this fucking internet. Jesus. No longer on the ball. Good to see you, my friend. Push button 62. Got Riley Studios. Shifty Eye Shady. LJ is here. Chaos Code. Peg's Place, Riley Studios. Let's see, Tony Coriolis. I am the great Coriolis. I need TP for my Bongorius. What else we got here? He says hi back. He said it telepathically in Chinese. So, just so you know. Got Mojo. What's up, Mr. Mojo? Rise. Saddlebum's with us here tonight as well. We've got, let's see who else. Did I miss anybody? Hercules. And I think that pretty much covers the true few I see. See, there's more popping in. I know there's going to be more popping in as we roll along on this. Tobin swing in. He's swinging. Swing. We love it. So the Dog and Pony Show is fully underway for the other half of the prescribed Hegelian dialectic that we like to refer to as the stage of politics or the altar of the state. And I like to keep in mind that if you worship at the altar of the state, you're likely to be sacrificed at the altar of the state. So keep that in mind, everyone. Until you maintain and put away the fuckery, you're going to be a subject to this. And boy, are they really playing it out. And they have a riot planned. Earlier this afternoon in Chicago, there were trucks, I guess, dropping off pallets of bricks so that they can have some stuff to throw. Really interesting already clashes outside between pro-Palestinian people and pro-Zionist people and all that little bullshit going on. That's always fun. really quite a sideshow. I never in my days, I remember seeing like political conventions and shit when I was a kid. And I thought these people, while they dress kind of bizarre, they're really into it. They'd have the little hats with whether they were for Wallace or whether they were for Johnson or whether they was for Nixon or whatever. I thought it looks like they're having a lot of fun. That's what I thought. It looked like, wow, they must be having a lot of fun. I never did figure out what about it was fun. But it's always been this little party thing. In fact, that's where I thought what a political party meant was these people all got together and wore these red, white, and blue shit and had fun. I was a little kid, right? And then later we find out that it's just two sides of the same coin. And most people think they're two completely different coins. And it's not. It's not. It never has been. Putting your faith in other men is probably one of the stupidest things you can do. We got all kinds of wonderful things and benefits that they're offering to people to come to this thing in Chicago. I wanted to show you some of the stuff that they've got for that. Really interesting. This week, there will be a shrine, and it's going to be in the form of an inflatable IUD. This is an ISS, not an IUD, but it kind of looks like an IUD, only really great big. But that's a whole nother thing. Okay, so they're going to also have a van there giving vasectomies to those that wish to have vasectomy. They're also going to have abortions, a mobile abortion van at the Chicago Democratic National Convention. And I know you guys probably think I'm bullshitting about that, but unfortunately, I'm not. We can see here that the DNC this week has a massive shrine, inflatable IUD. There it is, right there. Isn't that special? They're going to have vasectomies going on, and they've got a mobile. I saw a picture of the mobile abortion clinic that they've got too. So that's, they're offering services, I guess. The theme is what? Based on those three things alone, I can only estimate that the theme is depopulation. That's what I would get. Okay, so this just came in a few minutes ago. The vice president and I guess winner of the nomination, even though she never was really nominated, Kamala, she's Blindian. That's what we figured out. She's a Blindian candidate, and she gave a surprise introduction of President Joe Biden at the DNC. Now, the big question is Joe aware of it? There's some other really freaky, weird shit going on. But anyways, it's only a minute long. We can see how she cackles through this. This is new to me. This is just a few minutes ago, I guess.
Good evening, everyone.
Is that her husband? Is that guy that looks like Chuck? I thought that was Chuck Schumer or something for a minute. Wow. Maybe she's got a type. I don't know.
Good evening. Good evening.
God, she's so
It
pretty.
is so good to
all
be
are.
with everyone this evening in this hall and everyone at home. This is going to be a great week. And I want to kick us off by celebrating our incredible President Joe Biden, who will be speaking later tonight. Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you.
No, I think that's her husband, and the other guy, he's that's Tim Walz. You can tell he can't wait to get out of there and have himself a nice big frosty mug of horse juice. So yeah, so what I'm hearing is they're saying that and this is the thing, people don't know how things are supposed to run. This is what's blowing my mind. And they're talking like he's going to resign the presidency over to her at the DNC. That's not how it's fucking done, man. That's not how it's done. I remember watching, now I know why my mother made me watch it. Watching the transfer of power between Richard Nixon to Gerald Ford. There's a procedure involved. You don't just go up on stage. I mean, it almost reminds me of that episode of The Office where Michael, his accountant guy, told him, you're going to have to declare bankruptcy. And so he just walked out in the middle of the office and said, I declare bankruptcy. It doesn't work that way. So what does this mean, giving her the reins of power or what? This is what all these people are saying. And there's some more stuff too, because of all things, yes, a U-Haul truck at the White House. I shit you not. And I'm going to get into that here in a couple minutes too. This whole thing is just like a really fucked up dream that you know is wrong, but everybody's acting like it's normal. You ever had a dream like that where shit's just bizarre as fuck and everybody's acting like everything's normal and you're the only one going, what in the world is going on around here, man? And that's where I'm at right with this shit today. Just blowing my mind. See, yeah, there's the IED. Meanwhile, outside of this, there's all kinds of crazy shit going on. I thought this was rather funny. Let me put this up. So,
What do you guys think about Kamala?
It'll be cool.
She's terrible. If she comes into office, it will be done.
It'll be cool to see a female black. You know, she's half black, not fully black, but it'll be cool to see a black president,
Western Indian.
female black president. But I'm definitely voting for Trump.
Let me tell you something. She tries to get the black vote because if you look at her past things and maybe 10, 15 years ago when she's in interviews, she identifies as West Indian.
She does.
The only way that she's identified as African American is right now, right now, because she wants the voters. But she doesn't give a fuck because where was she at in these past 4 years if she's vice president? What has she done for us?
She have not.
Can you say one thing that
I didn't even know she was the vice president?
Can we say what she has done?
Let's go, Trump.
And I am going to stand on Trump.
now, these people are really bought into the dialectic of this whole thing because they are focusing on these things. And it is funny. I mean, okay, so you're just all of a sudden now you're black. And I've joked about that she has a superpower that she can just change ethnicity. But the other guy has the superpower of regenerating a fucking ear in just a matter of days. So, you know, they're all full of shit. They're all full of shit. In fact, they're all right in. Yes, exactly, LJ says effing sheep. Exactly. So anyway, this is the thing. And they're caught right up into the dialectic. And unfortunately, some of the people that I thought would have their fucking mind working are caught up in the dialectic. You know, knowing the shit's not real, but still thinking that Donald Trump is going to be the fucking be all and end all, or it's going to matter, or that even that you think that you actually have any kind of a participating effect on the outcome, which you do not. If the last election didn't show you that, you're never going to get it. And I'm not just talking about because of any kind of ill-gotten shit that they're doing. They tell you straight up in civics class when you're a little kid, man, that the popular vote is not what's counted. It's the electoral vote. And they don't have to even go by the popular vote. And as we see, they didn't anyway. They just fudged the numbers and said, okay, this guy won, and distracted everybody from the proper procedure with the January 6th nonsense. All of it was fucking planned. Every bit of it. Every bit of that was planned, and people can't get this. They don't realize Trump's going to take out the deep state. That motherfucker is deep state. What are you talking about? He is deep state. Who bailed him out? Who was that that bailed him? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Wilbur Ross. Who's Wilbur Ross? He's a banker for the Rothschilds. What the fuck? Really? And y'all think this guy's going to come and save you? Kamala's not going to save you. The only person who's going to save you is yourself. And the only way you're going to do that is by pulling your fucking head out of your ass and realizing that this is bullshit. And we don't have to tolerate it. We don't have to do it.
And I'm so sorry if that may ruffle people's feathers.
I'm
but
sorry.
I have done my own research. And Trump has done a lot for us more than what the media tries to portray.
Sure, extreme risk protection orders, also known as red flag laws. I like take the guns, due process later. Yeah, he's done a real lot. He's just doing the same thing as the other guy is with a different flavor put on it. Jesus.
They're getting.
Would you eat a turd if somebody put fucking barbecue sauce on it for you? I mean, Christ.
All our favorite rappers, they're having Megan Thee Stallion twerk and all of that to gain, because they think that that's going to make us vote for them, and that's not.
And that never got my vote.
And that will never get my vote. And I'm going to stand on.
Don't give either one of them your vote, because it doesn't fucking matter. All it is giving your consent for whatever comes about from the fuckery that ensues afterwards. That's it. That's it. Make you feel like you had a participating part in it so you don't blow your fucking stack. That's all it is. It's a pressure valve, man. And they placate everybody with this little pressure valve all the time. And the people play into it and they make up their little stories about each other. This guy's terrible and my guy's great. No, your guy's terrible, my guy's great. And it's like, the reality is they're all just fucking terrible. Every last one of them is just fucking terrible. Okay? I mean, if you get to that level of politics or that level of wealth, for instance, you're a dirty son of a bitch. You fucked some people to get there, and that's all there is to it, man. That's all there is to it. There is no way you can make it to the level of politics that these people are at without being a complete, utter scumbag.
100%.
How you doing? Flatter, Jeff? What's going on, brother?
Oh, just thought I'd pop in and say hi, because I haven't been able to get on the stream at all. My work's been so busy, and this is the one time my wife is actually out for a bit, and I figure I'd jump on and say hi, because I won't have enough time to do my own stream. So,
well, hell yeah, we're just going. I'm just looking at all this prescribed shit. You know, it's like my wife. She goes, "You think there will be? What do you think's going to happen?" I says, "Well, there's riots scheduled for tonight."
Yeah.
And she goes, "What do you mean scheduled?" I said, "Well, yeah, they brought in pallets of bricks and put them on the corners and everything, so they got shit to throw and break windows with." Yeah, they've got one scheduled. They'll act like it was organic, but no, they have one scheduled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
See, my wife texted me and she said, "Oh, the DNC's on," and I said, "I don't care." Why would I care?
The one thing that's got me interested in this is because I keep hearing all these outlets talking about this passing the reins over to Kamala, you know, and I'm like, what is this? You know, what do you mean? I bequeath the presidency upon you on stage in front of all these people. So here we are. Yeah, I mean, that's not how it's done. I don't know how old you are, but I mean, I watched President Nixon, the first president to ever resign from office. I watched him do it on television, and then they had to swear in Gerald Ford, right? And then there was that iconic thing of Nixon getting on the aircraft with his fingers up in the air with the victory signs.
I'm not a liar.
Yeah, you know, and I can remember that, man. People were divided. They were walking around. People had shirts that said "Impeach Nixon" and shit like that, you know. So, you know, this political turmoil is not really anything new, but I mean, there's a such thing as procedure as well, you know. And there again, tapping into some really tight shit that even YouTube doesn't like us to talk about. The whole thing with Nixon was over the Watergate scandal, okay? So this was a break-in that took place at the DNC headquarters at the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C., and they got caught. And they were spooks that got caught.
Yeah.
And what were they looking for? What were they in there looking for? Nobody's asked that. Why did they break into the DNC? What were they looking for?
Yeah,
what did they have? You see? That's the big question right there. And I know it was pointing to Nixon's involvement in the Kennedy assassination. It was evidence of that. There was also evidence of the crazy shit that shall go unmentioned on YouTube that takes place amongst these people. So yeah, nobody ever asked the question. Nobody asked what was it they were after. Oh, they were after some campaign secrets. What? You don't think they already got moles in your fucking outfit to begin with? No, they were looking for hard copy evidence of something, man. And that's where the real mystery lies. That's where the real mystery lies. You see?
Yep.
But anyway, I watched it. It's not to get too far off subject. I mean, I watched that occur, and it was quite a procedure that had to take place. You don't just go to the middle of Chicago in an auditorium and say, "I now give you the ring of power" and shit. You know. So what are they doing? Are they actually? Who's making that noise?
That David Foster, whoever that is.
David, what are you doing?
Oh, you muted.
Thank you. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, you can't just go to the middle of an auditorium in Chicago and say, okay, you know, I'm going to now give the presidency over to someone else here. Okay, now she's the president. No, that's not how it fucking works, man.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not for a minute. Okay. And so I'm wondering what in the hell is all this going on? And I'm waiting to see if anything comes up on Twitter. A lot of shit that I was looking at on there today. And boy, are the sheep really arguing with each other on that fucking platform. But this was a picture, even while there were somebody named Blair White put this tweet out. Well, wait a second. This page doesn't exist. Try searching for something else. Where'd it go? Wait a minute. It was a picture from inside the DNC while there were speakers on the. No, sorry, that post has been deleted. Well, that's interesting. Well, I still have it though.
Well, take a screenshot.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna just bring it up right here, and then it'll be on film for perpetuity. It just won't let me click on it.
Click on
it, right? So let me bring this up real quick. Oh, there it is. It's up there. Okay. It says, holy shit, there are more people outside protesting the DNC than people inside. And this was with speakers on the stage. Look at these empty fucking seats.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And they
now, I don't know. Is maybe did they delete it, or did the YouTube delete that? Or
probably
Twitter.
YouTube.
I mean Twitter, you know.
Well, you never know. Twitter is.
I mean, did somebody make a fake picture of it showing where there's no people there and got busted out on it?
Who knows?
You know, that could be a possibility too. Because both sides are guilty of being shitheels. You know, I mean, they're both just as awful as the other. You know, there's no one side that's good. I mean, you can look at all the weird shit that goes on with this left side, but then you go over to the other side and you got a guy that wants to give people a mandatory year in jail if they burn a flag. He wants to give the death penalty to drug dealers. You know, and that right in itself, that to me is just as dumb as punishing a gun salesman because somebody bought a gun and committed a crime with it.
Yep.
You know, exactly. It really is. It's just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are all for it. He's wanting to give prison terms to people that have anti-Semitic views or say anything that they deem as anti-Semitic. And then you have to wonder who gets to be the arbitrator of that. So, you know, these people are cheering that retard on about this shit. And meanwhile, we're sitting here going, wait a minute, you can't do that shit. Yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah, this was outside of the place versus inside. Let me see if I can bring that up full screen. Oh, that's that. And here's a full screen picture of inside from another angle. And
so it looks like it's probably legit, you know. It wouldn't surprise me, you know, because like they had that one picture where they like I've got a small video clip of them showing a video, but they forgot to put in the people, and then they flashed in. And the thing is, it shows a reflection on the plane. What the heck?
Of the ground with no people in it. I know. I saw that.
Yeah, reflection of the plane. There's like nobody there.
And this is outside the place. That's outside the DNC today.
Yeah. And more people protesting Palestine there, right?
Yeah, well, they're protesting for Palestine and also against U.S. policy of supporting Israel.
Yeah.
This stuff is taking a dive on Israel. It really is, because there's more and more people are coming out going, no, fuck you guys, man. This is bullshit. What you're doing is bullshit. We don't support that. I think Netanyahu has overplayed his card. He really has.
It's hard to say, you know. There's so much mudslinging.
Oh, I
It's
know.
hard to know what exactly is real and whatnot.
Well, I've always been a champion for the Palestinian people. I've never supported Israel or their right to have that as their state or anything else like that. I've never supported that at all. I think that their treatment of those people is reprehensible. They commit war crimes continuously, and everybody just turns their head because all the first thing they'll do is scream Holocaust, and everybody goes, oh, don't pick on the Jew, poor Jew. And I'm like, no, these ain't those people, man, at all.
Well, I have seen the video footage of the actual October 7th thing that happened, and it's pretty brutal, man. Like really brutal. Like
what I understand, most of those atrocities were actually committed by IDF soldiers. They actually protested for their right to rape other men that were prisoners of war.
Can
you
but
actually
no, like
that?
the actual video footage? You know, it's the Hamas people though. They're not IDF.
Do we though? I mean, how much video do we have of 9/11 when we know that was a fucking bullshit? There weren't even any planes.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't take video as credible. I don't take any video or pictures as credible evidence of shit, especially now.
Yeah, you're right. It all can be doctored. But,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm one that's skeptical about pretty much everything. You know, doesn't matter what side it's on. But the only thing I know that's true is that God is real, and Jesus is coming back soon. That's for sure. When you see all the stuff that's going on, like evil is good and good is evil, good for evil. That's right there is a perfect sign, you know.
Well, like what live music says, October 7th was mostly a hoax. I agree, but didn't Netanyahu come up there and tell everybody that it was like 20 times worse than 9/11, right?
Oh well, they claim so many things are worse than 9/11.
God.
It's like, that's their goalpost that they have to strive at, right?
Yeah, these people are doing, man. It's really a lot of people, man. It seems that way. I mean, as you pan down the road, I like that instead of just taking a tight shot of a group to make you think that there's a big crowd.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't like what they are, how they're representing it. I'm not going to stand for Palestine. I'm not going to stand for anybody that really.
Well, what I would stand for is not genociding a group of people, especially a group of people that have limited resource to be able to defend themselves. Okay. Yeah. Hamas is IDF. Okay. It's Mossad. It is not the Palestinian people. Okay. What the Mossad did was create Hamas as an enemy, a fictitious enemy, that'll send a few rockets in so that they can go over there and pummel the shit out of an area, clear it out, and occupy it. That's what the whole fucking thing is about. Hamas is not the Palestinian people.
But
Israel created Hamas.
You know what's funny is that the Palestine flag that they have there, that's not the original Palestine flag, though. The Palestinian flag was totally different.
Was it?
Oh yeah, you can actually look it up.
Also, our flag isn't anywhere near what it was, really.
Yeah. Like the American flag has changed so many times over the years.
State flag of Virginia has changed since the Civil War. I mean, it's almost the same, but Veritas on the that is conquered the tyrant on the seal. It says, "Thus be to all tyrants." Now has taken on a submissive stance rather than a defense status. When you look at the positioning, no breastplate, no helmet anymore. The sword is point down instead of point up, and the sword, instead of being at the ready in the hand, is cradled in the arm, and the breast is exposed. That's a sign of submission.
Right. Yeah.
They changed that. Very few people noticed, man. Very few people, and they replaced the helmet with a Frisian cap. So a lot of people don't notice that little subtle shit that goes on with this. I do. I always noticing things. Maybe that's a problem. Yeah, here was another one that said that the thing is almost empty. This one hasn't been deleted. And no community notes on it. And this picture seems to show while the two people are up there speaking. I don't know who these people are, but that looks like a pretty empty. That looks pretty damn empty, man.
It is. Yeah. Yep.
See, does it come up yet? I'm going to keep that. We're going to save that there. But yeah, there's some fuckery about something really weird going on. I've had this feeling I'm waiting for the other shoe to fucking drop, you know? You know the feeling I'm talking about? Like, okay, what's getting ready to happen? What is getting ready to happen? Well, here's even video. Okay, this is even video, dude. This says contributor just sent this video from inside the DNC. This was 2 hours ago. It's practically empty. So many empty seats. And this is with Joe Biden.
Joe Biden speaking?
Yeah, he's supposed to pass the reign. Well, Joe Biden is going to come up and
pass the diaper.
Say words. Okay, that's basically. I can't really say he's going to speak. He's going to say words, or at the very least, attempt to say words.
Yeah.
It's probably a 70% chance he'll shit himself while he's doing it too.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, I mean, this has got to be. This is another thing, you know, that nobody could be serious. Nobody could be serious about any of this. I mean, you think about this. All the brilliant minds that are supposedly behind the scenes, right? And this is the best they can fucking do, right? I'm supposed to believe that this is the best they can do because they're in a panic and their party sucks so bad, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
This is being staged this way for you to perceive it this way. And also to see if they can show this to you and then turn around and gaslight you to make you think that everybody's on board. Just like they did with fucking Biden in the first election. Oh yeah, 81 million votes. Dude, come on. The dude never left his basement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. He never campaigned or nothing.
That's what they do. So now they're gaslighting you with her record, right? We clearly all remember that Joe gave her the position of border czar. And why do we remember that? Because everybody was asking her when she was going to go down there, you know, and check it out, right? Because she was the border czar. Yeah. Now they scrubbed all that. She was never been the border czar. What are you talking about? That's not true. Yeah. That's total fucking gaslighting.
Oh, total. Like that's all they do is gaslight.
Hey, Dave.
They're the definition of it.
Yep. Hey. What is it, Dave?
She went to Texas's north border.
I think the closest she ever got to fucking Texas is probably a Taco Bell or some shit, man. That's it. But this is actually from inside. This is video from inside.
Hey, do you think those rumors are true about her VP pick?
to resist those attacks collectively, and we will stand together.
That's pretty bad, man.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. But they'll gaslight us and say, oh, it's the biggest turnout they've ever had.
Yeah, the place is completely packed and there's standing room only, some garbage. Yeah.
No, I got to say, though, between the two sides that seem to gravitate toward one end of the paradigm or the other, the most creative and funniest ones, I got to say, are on the right. Okay. It's like the ones that gravitate toward the left seem to have a more
retardedness.
Yeah, like they don't have any kind of fucking wit or creativity or anything. It's like this guy, he's standing outside the DNC tonight. Check this out. This is funny as shit. He's standing outside the thing and he's going, because I don't know if you know, but they've actually had certified law enforcement analyze like her introducing Joe Biden and shit and how she acts. And they have said that no, I would be giving her a fucking sobriety test immediately. She's drunk as fuck. She's drunk. And there's a lot of shit going around about that. She's quite a tippler, man. She drinks quite a bit, man.
It doesn't surprise me.
This guy outside the place,
like a prostitute or something.
Yes,
yeah,
she was a high-priced call girl.
Yeah.
And then she blew Willie Brown, who was the mayor of San Francisco, and that's how she got into politics. She started out on her knees, man.
You guys want to donate? I'm collecting for Kamala Harris's drinking addiction. Not for her rehab, but to keep her drinking. Alcoholism is alive in America. Let's keep funding Kamala Harris's alcohol addiction. I will start the GoFundMe. We can all donate and raise money so she's never sober again. Anybody taking donations? You guys want to donate? I'm collecting.
And they're like, they really can't say anything because they know. Everybody fucking knows. You know, but he's taking a GoFundMe. He's taking up a GoFundMe so he can help. They can go ahead and support it. You know,
support her alcoholism.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Here's another thing too, man. I hear these people are Christians for Israel, and like I said, man, you better be careful and look into what you and beyond the propaganda. And I see these people, they say, I'm Christians for Israel, you know, because they saw the word Israel in their fucking Bible. So that's all it takes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to see how Christians are treated in Israel? This is amazing. This is amazing. We've had a guy come on here before. He went to Israel. He got on a Bible trip, and he got harassed by the IDF and all kinds of shit, man. They don't feel the same way. So if you're a Christian for Israel, I want you to understand they do not feel the same way about you. Okay, always just keep that in mind. Don't believe the hype, right? So this is pretty. I don't know if you know who this guy is. Shit, I've seen him on. He's one of the talking heads on TV. Apparently, he's from the right side, but this is kind of funny what he said.
The Democrats don't want Biden anywhere near this convention. He's toxic, and they don't want him standing on stage with Kamala. That's not going to help her at all. And Biden doesn't even want to be here. He's humiliated, and they're isolating him like he has the Rona. Trump was shot in the head 48 hours before the RNC, and he showed up every day with a bandage on his ear. Biden was stabbed in the back, forced to speak on Monday night as far away from Kamala as possible, And now he's evacuating quicker than Afghanistan. The Democrats don't want Biden anywhere near.
Yeah. I want to show you this real quick before I forget about it too. So there's a guy, Penguin 6. He's filmed this. There's been other people posting about this, and he was doing a video where he was going through DC, different areas of DC, and I put it up to the part where he people have seen this U-Haul. There's a U-Haul in front of the White House. Now, let me just play this and let it go, and we'll see what it says. And then I got some comments about this.
There's another truck there. Looks like one of those garden trucks. Okay. What can we see? Let's get the big camera. Box and a blue tarp. Let's go around a little farther. Not a whole lot.
Is it moving day for Biden?
Well, that's what I was getting with. All right. So and the speculation is that that's Biden moving out of the White House. But I'm going, wait a fucking minute, man. The president doesn't use U-Haul. All right. I mean, what did he do? Send the Secret Service down, say, hey, go down to the fucking, go down to Ace Hardware there and rent us a U-Haul truck so we can move out of the White House and shit. Are you, what?
But you know what's funny? It could very well have happened because the way that they're railroading them, they're like saying, yeah, no, you can't use the regular movers. You have to use the U-Haul and some private movers.
I'm like, I was like, okay, well, we know that they're getting ready to impeach his ass for a bunch of financial shit he's caught dead-handed with. Did they freeze his assets? Had to have somebody rent a fucking U-Haul? I don't know, man, but it seemed to me that regardless, I mean, I know that Richard Nixon didn't use a U-Haul, right? I don't think Bill Clinton used a fucking U-Haul when they left. Pretty sure George Bush didn't use a U-Haul. So what the hell is with this? I'm like, I don't get it, man.
Dropping off the ass for Joe's birthday.
What did you say, Dave? You said what? He froze
they
his
froze
assets?
his ass, not his assets, because he died.
God, well, motherfucker ain't got an ass. He looks like a frog standing on its back legs.
Power wash. Yeah, I was telling you they were power washing the other day. And that's the power washer there that they were using with that crane up on the North Portico. All right, there's the back of the truck. Couple of buckets, couple of coolers, looks like some gasoline. Oh, there's a couple.
Yeah, him and Jill are in there wrapping glasses in newspaper and putting them in. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
Water bottles, a couple ladders, scaffolding gear.
Oh, he's even got the Costco boxes.
Not that interesting. The guy just got out of the front door of it.
Now, all this, I've seen shit on Twitter about this too. And all right, let's suppose we just saw a power washer. This guy looks like he's doing some kind of work, right? Do you think it's possible that whoever's doing whatever work there needed an extra tool truck and just rented a U-Haul in order to haul supplies there and then clean up afterwards or something? I mean, yeah, park next to a fire hydrant. But I mean, that's probably more of a plausible explanation for a U-Haul truck, other than Jill and Joe Biden are moving out of the fucking White House with a U-Haul truck. I mean, no. I mean, does he also, get a ticket for Delta Airlines to go to Wilmington? No. They have people that do that for him, right?
Did the truck have the U-Haul logo on it? It looked just white.
Yeah, it's a U-Haul truck. Let me back this up just a little bit.
I wonder if it's just a government truck, just in case to keep the. Oh yeah, there's U-Haul. Huh.
But I mean, this is what I mean about people not really thinking, people not thinking, people not using their logic sensors, And I see this all the time, right? And so they see a U-Haul truck and associate it with the current shit with Joe Biden, right?
Yeah.
I can see how you could
It's
do
most
that.
likely it's a contractor. He probably had to rent the van because his broke down or some crap.
Yeah. I
right?
mean, your brain has to kick in and go, wait a minute. The president doesn't use fucking U-Haul, right? I don't think they don't do the stuff you do. Okay. These people are not you. You got to realize that.
Obama is visiting and they needed a truckload of hot dogs.
I wonder if the
That
White
would be
House
about it.
searched
That would
the
work.
U-Haul truck thoroughly.
That would work. So let me see if he's if there's anything come up over here real quick. As far as his, let's see, make surprise appearance. That was a minute ago. We know about that. Wow, DMC is going to former President James Taylor. What? I'm waiting on president to come out and say it's been a lifelong dream of mine to be president. That's why I decided to give it a shot. And I finally remember. Yeah, they don't know what the fuck he's gonna. I guess he hasn't spoken yet, and that's odd because it's well past his bedtime. We know that he goes to bed at like what, 7, something like that. Hit that early bird special at Sizzlers at 4, and then off to bed. That's what he does. Let's see. Okay, so I don't see anything new has come up about him speaking yet. They're probably trying to get him enough cocaine so they can actually speak, you know.
Oh,
And this is interesting. So do you know what Kamala's campaign slogan is?
What's that?
It's this what is it? Strength through joy or some shit like that. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, strength through joy. That's what her campaign thing is. And that's from like the Third Reich.
The hell?
Yeah, listen to this thing. This guy's got it down.
I'm sure by now you've heard Kamala Harris run around the country. Joy! We're going to bring back joy! Strength through joy! I want you to Google strength through joy.
Strength through joy is the slogan, so laugh and grow fit.
I'm sure by now you've heard.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Where are all the female giants?
Listen, I've seen one before.
I haven't seen one photo of a female giant.
Well, I'll tell you, well, maybe they look like the men, but I remember I saw a woman. I saw this woman one time, stunningly gorgeous. She was shit, man. I mean, the bottom of her boobies come up to the top of my head.
Damn.
And everything was in proportion. Everything was totally in proportion. It just looked like a bigger version of a smaller. I don't know. It was really crazy, man. It was really crazy.
How tall are you, Dave?
I'm 5'11".
Oh.
I used to be 6'2" till my sides gave out. That's my excuse for the muffin top.
Right.
So let's see. He's this was a couple hours ago. It says the Dems are reeling. Kamala is being exposed as an incompetent fool. Walz is hiding from his massive stolen valor scandal. The honeymoon steam has faded, and now they are about to wheel out this mindless vegetable one last time. The optics are not good for the Democrats, it said. And of course, it's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be that way. It's part of the show, man. Do you think that Abbott and Costello were really like they were in the movie and in their skits? No, not a bit. Not a bit. Both very intelligent men, right? But the one guy played like he was a stooge that didn't know shit, right? Everybody bought into it. Laurel and Hardy, same thing, right? Actors. Actors, people. Actors.
This is a live shot
Ralph
of
Cramden.
President Joe Biden inside the convention hall. where he will give remarks. We had that live
to get a sense of the room, to look at the crowd, as she will be seeing it in a much fuller capacity tonight. Now, the order of the program as she does her testing.
To walk up to the lectern as well. And I will say, Aaron, what we've been hearing from the.
Do you think he's got any fucking idea even what's going on?
Man, he's got a fucking blank.
Not a clue.
He's got a blank stare, man. He don't. What the fuck? God damn, this pisses me off.
He's baked, man. He has to be. Like, they probably just gave him a shot of Thorazine.
You gotta give him something, man. Some epinephrine, some kind of shit to keep him going.
White House is that he's been fine-tuning this speech all weekend. Obviously, he had a pretty good idea.
He's been fine-tuning the speech.
A speech like what he's supposed to say tonight should just be right off the top of your head. I mean, come on, you're the fucking president, you fucking moron.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something if he went ahead and just
went off script?
He went off script and said, "No, I'm not dropping out of the race. Fuck you."
I want to see him shit his pants.
Oh, that's a given.
That would be good if he goes, "I'm just gonna shit my pants on stage and just say it out loud." That'd be so
yeah, mic drop, bitch.
Yeah.
Instead of a mic drop, you just do a turd drop. That's all.
He's gonna
just pull his
fart
pants
and
down
gonna
this
shit
time.
his pants.
Yeah, you don't know.
Idea of what it was going to look like a month ago. Now that speech has changed.
This is a live
Yeah,
shot.
He don't got no fucking clue where he's even at.
Oh my God.
Well, he probably does, but he's supposed to play like you don't. You dig? This is the whole thing. That's the whole thing. This I thought was funny because this is I see people act like this. I like to watch these political things go on, like where somebody or interview somebody on a political view, that especially when it's like an unvalid viewpoint. And it reminds me exactly of talking to how these globetards sound when they talk. Exactly the same type of behavior. Watch this woman, this guy. I forget what his name is. Bo. He's got a YouTube channel too, but he's notorious for getting these lefties riled up, and it's pretty funny. This woman he's talking to. I like this.
You just quote the Bible and then say the Bible doesn't exist. How can you go back and forth? You use it when it's beneficial to you.
Say fuck Trump.
Nah, I don't cuss.
Say fuck Trump.
I don't cuss.
Say fuck Trump.
What makes you not like him? What has he done? Is it because he's the greatest president of all time?
Listen, a human doesn't happen until that individual is born.
That's not what science says.
No, that's not.
Science says life begins at conception.
That's not what the Bible says.
It says I knew you when you were formed in
but
the
God
womb.
doesn't exist, so this is even a.
Then why did you just quote the Bible? You just quoted the Bible, and then she says that it doesn't exist. You just quote the Bible and then say the Bible doesn't exist. How can you go back and forth? You use it when it's beneficial to you. Give me facts. Give me stats. You have nothing, man. You call him racist. You call him pro-life. But you can't give me a factual statement.
I just gave you. Look,
give me something he's done.
Are you a straight white male?
What does it matter? What does race matter? What does race matter?
That's the thing too. They'll just start asking something else.
Yeah.
I was in a discussion today with somebody about gravity, and they started automatically going into curvature. And I goes, and I was like, wait a minute, stay on topic, bro. Well, yeah, but what about math? And I'm like, we're not on math, man. We're talking about gravity. Okay, what is the cause of the observed effect? And this guy just kept jumping all around. Well, what about this? What about that? And listen, buddy, I'm asking you, right? And satisfy my question, and then we'll go on to more. You just keep jumping around all over the place, like that woman was. Oh, are you a white male? You know, like what the fuck has that got to do with anything? They just automatically.
You just quote the Bible.
Another subject all of a sudden. And another one that gets me too is they're all the time with their fucking shit. Oh, is it peer reviewed? Peer reviewed is such a fucked up thing. Listen to this old guy. I've played this before. But listen to this guy, man. And then I'm going to do a science experiment while this is playing.
What is science? People coming out of a university with a master's degree or a PhD, you take them into the field, and they literally don't believe anything unless there's a peer-reviewed paper. It's the only thing they accept. And you say to them, but let's observe, let's think, let's discuss. They don't do it. It's just, is it in a peer-reviewed paper or not? That's their view of science.
Yep.
I think it's pathetic.
Sure is.
Gone into universities as bright young people. They come out of them brain dead, not even knowing what science means. They think it means peer-reviewed papers, etc. No, that's academia. And if a paper is peer-reviewed, it means everybody thought the same, therefore they approved it. An unintended consequence is that when new knowledge emerges, new scientific insights, they can never, ever be peer-reviewed.
Yeah.
So we're blocking all new advances in science that are big advances. If you look at the breakthroughs in science, almost always they don't come from the center of that profession. They come from the fringe.
That's true too.
Yep.
So in the field of lighting, right? It wasn't a chandelier manufacturer or a candle manufacturer or a street lamp manufacturer that came up with the electric light bulb, was it? It was from the fringes of the lighting community, wasn't it? So this is one of the, I think the point that he makes with that is very, very good. That's why I'm like, I like to fuck with these people. They ask, is it peer reviewed? And I goes, well, I peered at it and I reviewed it and it looked pretty good to me.
I like that.
You know, look this guy.
Yeah.
What's this thing? People are, I don't know if this is real or not. There's no community notes thing on this, but apparently this guy said this at Davos.
Oh no, it's not real. It's a fake one.
It's not.
Yeah, I've seen it, but it's hilarious.
Would do that though. I figured it would be like all over the news, right?
And I appreciate the World Economic Forum providing me the opportunity to be on this stage and say, fuck you, Klaus Schwab, and fuck your New World Order. We, the people, were born free. We will stay free. And you and all of your globalist friends, including everyone in this room, can go fuck yourself. And I appreciate the World Economic
That would be badass as shit, you know? And it's like, okay, so this is fake, but there's no community notes on it. That's what Twitter does, right? Community notes. It's like their fact check type thing. And I've seen no fact check on this, no thing on it. And so I'm like, why not? They put it on fucking shit about flat earth. What's the problem here? What's going on? You know, they seem to be very selective in what they do. Mindshock did a pretty good video about this here not too long ago. If you don't watch Mindshock, you need to check out. He's got some pretty good stuff on there.
I just saw a video that came out from Zetetic Warrior. I don't know if you probably heard of him, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I've had my own dealings with Zetetic Warrior.
Yeah. It was on Banjo's website though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen it. I can't bear to listen to his fucking voice, so I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Now, there was a time I got along with Z. Thought him to be intelligent, and he come up with some good points, and that still may even be the fact, right? But he went on a destruction campaign. He lashed out toward me over his own wrongdoings, and still to this date has not apologized for it, and was clearly in the fucking wrong. So fuck him. Yeah. I don't have shit. I don't give a shit nothing about anything he's got to say. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to see him. I don't even fucking care about him. So I saw that he was the primary thing on that, and I'm like, nope, his voice makes my ass twitch. I don't like him. Fuck him.
No worries, man. All good.
You know, and it's like this. Look, I've got my own views on all of this shit about the fucking final experiment.
Yeah.
All that shit. I've got my own views on that.
Mm-hmm.
And those are my views. Do they go along exactly with Jaron? Nope. Do they go exactly along with Banjo or Z? No, they don't.
No.
Okay. So I'm like, don't just automatically put me in a fucking camp all of a sudden. I'm not in anybody's camp. I may visit your camp, but I'm not in your camp. I got my own camp.
Yep. Yeah, I get it. I'm sure there's views that I have that other people don't like, and that's their prerogative, right? And,
absolutely. 100%. I was just an experience the other night where, because I'm not buying into all this fucking left, right, dog and pony show bullshit. And my view is that by voting, you're giving your consent for whatever the fuck comes about, and that it's not for whoever you want to be president. That's just a pretext. Okay. They got fucking wanted to get insulting about that. And I'm like, what the fuck? What happened the last time? What happened in the last election? Did your vote actually count? No. In fact, it was in the middle of counting the electoral votes and verifying them that the whole J6 pony show happened. And they never ever finished. It never finished. Procedure was not followed.
Yeah.
They didn't just discontinue it. They just stopped. Okay. So what does that tell you? It tells me that regardless of what I do, it's not in my hands. That's just a show. That's to make me feel like I participated.
Yeah.
You see, it's a pressure valve. And then they can say, well, this is how the election went. That's, you voted. You can't complain unless you vote. Absolutely, you can. Because it's all these other motherfuckers that go through the immoral act of voting that instill this bullshit upon the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works, man. And they cannot get it. This guy wanted to get insulting and call me names and then turn around and act like they're the most knowledgeable person on the subject that exists. And I was like, okay, so now I'm dealing with somebody who's got a very overly inflated opinion of themselves. It was really it's hard to deal with people like that. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm looking at this thing, as you believe that the assassination thing was true and this guy healed up that quick? Do you really believe that? Most people don't, not really. So why aren't you calling him out on it? He's a dirty, no good, fucking stinking liar, just like all the rest of them. What makes you think that voting for one liar that you like his personality better than the other liar?
How do you think he did so well in business? You have to lie to be good.
He didn't do well in business. He didn't do well in business. He filed
what I'm saying,
times.
yeah. He has the illusion of doing well, which is a lie itself, right? So in order to get to that level, you have to lie, right? There's a lot of lying involved in all of that stuff, and there's just no two ways about it. Like I know a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, and when they were honest and everything, they didn't do so well. And then they have people that they know that are in similar businesses, and they lied and cheated and they got ahead. Right. So it's unfortunately that's the way of this world that it's coming to, because we already know what's going to happen in the end, right?
This whole thing about the worldwide economy. Listen, fuck the worldwide economy. The only economy we should be worried about is the American economy. It's getting into this fucking worldwide shit that has turned us into this fuckscape that we're in.
Yeah. And what's funny is, like, in my country, in Canada, everyone thinks, oh, I don't care about the American economy. And I said, you should, because their economy affects ours 100%. Whenever it goes to crap, so does ours. It's like we follow it exactly, just below it. But we're like you look at the graph.
We're all the same. We're the same supply chain. We have the same supply chain.
Yeah, exactly.
The illusion of an imaginary line that goes between your house, where you live, and where I live.
Yeah.
If there was no signs, would you know it was there?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
No.
Yeah, and what's funny is like there's a lot of jokes about that. There's actually 60 stars on the flag instead of the 50 because we're the other 10 states.
The other 10 states.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, the whole illusion though that we actually broke away from England.
Yeah.
That's an illusion. It
Yeah,
really is.
Ours is more prevalent illusion.
Well, I mean, we blow off firecrackers and have celebrations every year in July on the 4th.
Yeah.
And then that's because they signed the Declaration of Independence, right? They signed that on July the 4th, 1776.
Yeah.
But they registered as a corporation in London, England on July the 2nd.
Yeah.
That requires approval.
Yeah.
Right? That required approval. And so what kind of a little show was that? You even look at the treaty that was signed, you know, the at the end of the war, or the supposed Revolutionary War, in King George, and one of his patents of nobility that's listed is Prince of America.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Ours is a lot more out in front and in your face, because we put that stupid people's face on our money.
Yeah, I know.
That's like, what the hell? We don't have a king in our country. What the hell we got your face on our money for?
Yeah, I know. It's really bad. People buy into the bullshit. You know who this character is? Another one. He's one of these big players in the left-right dog and pony show. Thought it was pretty funny. He was asked a question, and well, I'll just let you watch it. This is funny as hell. I think this guy's a bizarre freak, but this is funny as shit.
Great response.
Is it safe to say that based off of your comments, you're suggesting that these women at these abortion rallies are ugly and overweight?
Yes.
What do you say to people who think that those comments are offensive?
Be offended.
See, and that's crazy too, because in that side of the paradigm, those people
Great response.
are really under the illusion that, you know, you just can't say things. If something you say offends somebody, what do you can't do that. Right? And I was like, yes, I can.
Well, it's getting to the point now in my country. They're going to start. Well, they've already we're arresting people for things they posted on Facebook in the UK. They're going to try doing that here.
It's going to happen here.
Yeah.
It's going to happen here too. You got Donald Trump telling everybody that it should be prison people that are making anti-Semitic remarks or posts or anything else like that they should be put in prison. He wants to put those people in prison. He wants to have capital punishment for drug dealers, right? He's for red flag laws, extreme order protection laws. He's for those. He banned the bump stocks. This guy, I mean, what? He's no different. He's no different. He was still bombing motherfucking people in other countries, the same as any of the rest of them have been doing.
You know what I think would be a good deterrent for for certain criminals and stuff would be a public spanking. Like have them bent over the knee of someone and they're spanking the guy in the ass. You know how humiliating that would be for a guy? You know, he would not be able to show his face anymore. Like especially if he was a drug dealer. He goes, "Weren't you the guy that was spanked on TV?"
Why is the drug dealer a bad person?
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, for safe theft, for someone stealing some stuff, right? You know, and then he would be recognized everywhere and he'd be laughed at. He would never be able to live it down, right? That would be a harsher punishment than going to jail where you get free food, free accommodations, and you get to work out every day and read books, you know, get free education too while they're at it too, right?
Well, you know, the thing is, I look at it like this, right? First off, stop putting people in prison for crimes that are not crimes.
Yeah.
Okay? Just because you wrote some shit down on a piece of paper and sprinkled it with magic fairy dust, now you can lock somebody up for doing something that has caused no loss, injury, or harm to another.
Yeah. And the thing
What
is,
the
like,
hell is that?
they want to pass. They were trying to pass a law in my country where if they think you're going to do something, you could be arrested for it, like pre-crime, like the Minority Report garbage. They're trying to do that here.
That's exactly what. Okay, so the premise behind the idea of locking up these drug dealers is because they're polluting our streets. Okay, first of all, you have to have a market. Okay, if you're going to sell anything, first there has to be a market, right? Now, you can either go where there's an existing market or go through the really difficult task of trying to create a market. So the dealer does not create a market. The dealer is there as a result of the market being there.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that drug dealers are not going to do is go target school kids. That's the worst economic base that you can find. They do not have reliable incomes. Okay?
Yeah.
Unless you consider their milk money enough. So that's not a good consumer base.
Yeah.
Not one bit at all. So who are you looking for? The people that are looking for you. That's who you're looking for. And where do these people usually come from? Usually from broken, dysfunctional homes. So where is our real problem? Okay, now you can say, well, the addict gets hooked on the drugs and a lot of women will turn to prostitution. Okay, again, no crime, no victim. Or they can result to burglary and theft and mugging people. Okay, well, we already have laws against that. And regardless of your motivation for committing that crime, that loss, injury, or harm on another, whether it was because you needed money for drugs, you just thought it was cool, or because you wanted to take the person's shit, it doesn't matter. You still broke the law under natural law, right? Putting the substance into your body, that was on you. That was your choice. Okay. Can you get off of a drunk driving charge? You smash into somebody's car and you put somebody in the hospital or kill them, right? And you go in there and use the excuse, I'm not to blame for that. I was drunk. No, they're not going to listen to that.
Greg,
they're not going to listen to that excuse for a second. Not for a second. It doesn't matter.
Greg B, yes, I do know about the idiot, or I guess I'm the idiot that knows about the caning of the guy in Singapore. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
You know,
yes.
and I bet you those guys were it's almost a humbling thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's what, like some people say, oh, that's not really a punishment for a minor offense. Getting a caning, I'm sure you probably wouldn't want to do it again.
No,
right?
No.
So
no, and they said, well, all they did was destroy someone's property. Well, you caused loss, injury, or harm. You committed a crime.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is what happens when you cause loss, injury, or harm. That's a whole nother story. But if there's already a market for this substance and two consenting adults agree to a transaction, money for the whatever product, there was no victim there. That was consensual. That was a consensual legal contract. Boom, took place. Right? So who was the victim in that exchange? Nobody. Okay, so if that guy gets hooked on the shit and he ends up going off because of it and doing something that does cause loss, injury, or harm, was that the dealer's
fault? Yeah. No, he didn't force the guy to take it.
Nope.
You know,
So it's just like saying it would be the same as if there was a gun dealer. He makes his living selling guns. People like guns for sport, protection, what have you. And someone buys a gun from this guy and then goes out and commits crime for it with it, right?
Yeah.
Now, who's to blame? Is it the gun? Is it the guy that committed the crime? Or is it the gun dealer?
Yeah.
It's the guy who committed the crime.
Of course.
Okay.
So they want to jail the guy that sold the gun, right?
There you go. It's the exact same thing. It's the
Here's
exact same
my
thing.
prevalent illusion. My thought is to go ahead and ban everybody.
Firecrackers and have celebrations every year in July on the 4th. Then that's because they signed the Declaration of Independence, right?
we
They
got
signed that
someone-
on July the 4th.
Someone a little bit behind there.
But they registered as a corporation. Who is that? Victoria, is that, do you have YouTube playing in the background?
Yeah.
You got request. You gotta mute YouTube,
There she is.
Victoria.
Okay.
And
I was trying to figure out who it was.
yeah, I was
I
like,
would
that's,
say we
that's
need
me.
to
I
ban
just said that.
voting because every single politician is corrupt and they're the ones that need to be banned. So let's ban voting. Because, they're about to commit crimes anyway. So let's just stop all that right now.
Yeah, we'll stop all the crimes right there.
You're
Stealing
never
from
gonna
us.
stop crime. This is the thing people have to understand, and I love it. This guy, John Bryan, he's got a YouTube channel called The Civil Rights Lawyer. He's right over here in West Virginia, not too far from me here in Virginia. And one of his taglines, he says, "Freedom is scary. Deal with it." And I'm like, yeah, it is. It is. But you're never going to create a utopia ever. Okay. That's just not going to happen.
Come on now.
But having oppressive government is not going to create utopia either.
Except in your mind. You might, maybe, in your mind. That's what they like to appeal to.
There again, that's
Mind
subjective. Like what you were saying about taking somebody and spanking them. What Jeff was saying about taking somebody and spanking them like in public for something like that. Then you'd have all these masochists out there, trying to do crime and get caught for it, so that they can get spanked publicly. Narcissistic masochists, man.
Well, see, unfortunately, that's the state of the world today. That with the perversion of everything, you can't get away from it, and we're in a state of just everything going to hell in a handbasket, as you can call it.
Your utopia is different than everyone else's utopia. That's the whole point. Right? It's just like buying a car. Your favorite car might not be, like one person might be an Audi and the other person could be perfectly fine with an F-150. Who cares?
You hear the announcer come on and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Handbasket Express. Our destination this evening, hell and points between. Please keep your arms and legs inside the basket at all times and do not exit until the basket comes to a complete stop." This has been Hell Tramways. But they're beating each other up, man. This is funny. They're eating each other. This is funnier than shit.
I've never in my life saw this at a Republican rally, but behind me you have Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. I don't know if that is also Kamala Harris. I have no clue. But look at the fangs coming off of them. Look at the blood dripping down them. I don't know if they're like dead or if they just really dislike Joe Biden. But point of this being, you don't see this at any Republican rallies, any Republican protests, which we really don't even have protests, but they do. And this is what you see. They have never been more divided than they are right now. Look at this behind me. I don't know what else to say.
There again, on purpose is all hell.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. This is all part of the illusion. And I've been saying it all along. Donald Trump was responsible for his own defeat in the last election. He was in on that shit as well. This was supposed to play out this way because prior to the election, part of his thing, like Nostradamus, predicting exactly what would happen if Joe Biden won the election, right? And then just like prophecy, everything unfolds exactly as he said. Exactly
How he said it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Now he gets to come in like a white knight, gonna save America from all this shit. And here's what I think is pretty scary about that is when he gave that thing, it says, just vote this November. You'll never have to vote again. It's going to be so great. You'll never have to vote. And I'm like, what do you mean you'll never have to vote again? You know, you only get a 4-year term.
Yeah, exactly. So there's something going to happen there.
Yeah. What's the real gig going on there?
Mm-hmm.
But I've also looked at it like this too. So I war game these strategies out and I see how they could turn in either way. And I'm looking at, okay, that's a strong one right there, especially the way that they're making the DNC look, or it's obviously looking or whatever. That this is going to be this overwhelming support for Donald Trump, despite their efforts to try to make it look like Kamala's got all this. I mean, they're being too obvious. That's what I'm saying. They're being way too obvious as far as I'm concerned. But then get it looking like, oh, there's no way that Kamala could win this election, and then turn around and fucking jerk the rug out from underneath everybody and put her in anyway. Just to blow up the fucking nation, you know, as you know, everybody would lose their fucking minds if that happened.
Yeah.
Make the papacy great again. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Right? These Jesuits, man. These Jesuits. You gotta watch these motherfuckers.
Well, hey, Sav, thanks for having me on. Have a good rest of your evening.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you as well, man. Take care.
Now,
all right,
now you had to put up with myself. I'm sorry, man. I haven't seen you for a minute, so I had to join.
Yeah. All right, take care.
I'll try to stay quiet, but good seeing you, Jeff.
Yeah, good to see you too.
What is it? This totally makes sense. Maria Walker said Riley Studios. What did Riley Studios say? Let me see up here. I did not see it. All right, wait. Using Google Translate, the English G means SOL in Hebrew. Maybe the Masonic G refers to Saul. Wow. Yeah. And the thing also is on that Urbano Monte map. 0 at the very center North Pole is a capital G as well. So that's kind of interesting. Huh.
Soul means also sun, right?
Right. Right.
Just to point that out.
As in solar system. I call it a soul lure system. Because I think it's an inversion of reality. It actually is. It's an inversion of reality. Oh my God. Yeah, I saw this thing. This is crazy. This guy trying to charge his electric car. I saw everybody jump right on the bandwagon with these electric cars. And I'm like, I'm kind of one to wait for the technology to be out there for a little bit before I get into something, see what happens. And once again, I'm proving that that's a wise thing. Look at this. This is crazy.
So I got a new car, electric. I'm charging it in my house right now. It's the first time I'm charging it. The battery was like at 30%. Do you know how long it's going to take for it to be fully charged? 73 hours.
Holy shit.
73 hours.
Wow.
73 hours to charge that fucking thing that's just from 30%.
Newest car I've ever owned is a 2006, and I'm still trying to keep it to 2007 or before that because of the whole crap that Obama added in, you know. I don't know if you guys know that in 2008 he started to add in the different chips and all of that and made it a mandate. So I'm still keeping it back to the old style where we can still work on it and everything else, and low mileage old cars all the way.
Well, it just so happens I'm in good shape for the fact that I've got one of my best friends is a mechanic, and a good one too. He works at a dealership. Pretty reputable one too. So he comes by here. He says, if I ever need anything done, he'll take care of it for me. So I just changed some stuff, thermostat here recently, and he took care of that.
You said you have a Jeep. I've got an old 02 Honda Civic that I run everywhere. It's like 40 miles a gallon.
Mine's a 2015 Jeep Wrangler Willys Edition.
There you go.
That's too
new for me, man.
It's got it's a soft top, and I made sure I said I don't want power windows. I don't want power locks. None of that fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that something go wrong with, man, every time. And I don't need it. I don't need that, you know. There's nothing wrong with turning a crank to roll the fucking window down, you know.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Craigie?
Nothing.
Craigie, old boy.
I just wanted to show up and say hi.
Well, cool, man. It's cool. What do you think about the crazy dog and pony show that's happening?
It's
man?
fucking crazy. I put some stuff in there in the chat that talks about like how people are so obliged to say that, hey, we got a black male president, we got a black female president, and they're both half black.
I know,
and they have nothing to say about that.
All while
and I'm not discounting that at all. I'm very proud of that.
Well, it's all while chanting color shouldn't matter.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, right. I love how we have a half Indian and India just landed on the moon. I mean,
I would truly rather have like a fully African presidential candidate that had fully black or African parents on both sides, mother and father, and be like, oh wow, okay, now let's do something.
Yeah, but see, then what difference does it make?
I know.
I mean, in all reality, what difference does it make? If we're actually taking from the pool of people, right, which they're not, right, then none of that should matter. It shouldn't even be a focus issue. If somebody said, look, the first black candidate, I'd say, you racist motherfucker, what's that matter?
I know, that's all we think about nowadays, though, is like, oh,
okay,
what bent are they? What bent are they coming from?
Right.
You should think about like, what bent should we be coming from a country instead of a racial background?
What did anybody ever ask you if you needed a president before they asked you which one you wanted? No, they never do. They never do. They just throw you into that.
Yep.
So, you know, like my brother-in-law, when he was little, he would go to the toy section in the store and he would grab 2 different toys. And then he'd show up to the cart where his mom was at and ask her, which one of these did you want me to get?
Oh.
Not, can I get a toy? Which one of these did you want me to get? We just gloss over that fucking part and it would work. You see, and that's how it's working on you. Hey, do you want a president? I'm like, no, not really. Nobody asked me.
I wish I could have that question asked to me.
You know, you can ask it. Ask it to yourself. You need a president. I mean, if you didn't have a president, how would it affect you?
I think you're breaking up stuff.
What's that?
Satellites are breaking down on they're crashing to the earth. Watch out.
You're breaking up.
Oh no, robot.
You're not allowed to ask noble questions. Shoot. Shoot. This isn't mine, is it?
Well, it looks like Saul's all kinds of locked up. Where are you locked up, man?
No, I'm not locked up. Everybody else needs to be locked up.
He's back.
They're trying to screw you up, man. I love you.
Yeah, I know. This goddamn internet connection is unstable, it says. Now it says it's fairly good.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all right. It'll come back in a minute. It always does.
I can hear you
now it's back. Now it's back.
What she said.
That happens for no fucking reason. No fucking reason whatsoever, right? But the reality is you can ask yourself that question. That's what I was saying. You can ask yourself that question. Do I need a president? If you didn't have a president right now, how would it affect you?
Yeah.
Zero, zilch, nada, zilch.
I wouldn't even know.
I mean, for all you know, you really don't even have one.
Correct.
Other than they wouldn't even be on the TV, and if you don't watch TV, then it ain't gonna bother you one bit.
That's why I'm
period.
vote.
Done.
I will vote Mickey Mouse. This is.
I'm not. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Do not vote.
I'm not gonna give my consent for whatever comes about by voting because you're.
No, I like Mickey Mouse.
Your vote doesn't count. Okay, it doesn't decide who's going to be the president. All it does is say that I, Greg B, am going to put up with whatever the fuck you do after this shenanigans you pull. That's what you're doing.
Mickey Mouse rules.
Hey, Mickey Mouse is a construct of Disney, which is a construct of NASA.
Yeah, he's
so why would you ever vote for Mickey Mouse anyway? I wouldn't.
It's real simple, man. It's
That's
like,
my vote, man. How dare you question?
well, when you're voting, you're basically saying I consent to whatever fuckery comes about as a result of this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're doing.
You're picking up the soap in the bathhouse. That's all you're doing, man. Go pick up the soap and don't cry about it when you get it up the butt. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Yes.
So what do you guys want to see a cool thing about free energy? This is an interesting little story here. I hope this guy doesn't get killed.
This nigga just invented an endless supply of electricity. It all started when he was buttering his toast. The bread fell down, and he noticed something. He butters his toast again and drops it from a very short height, but still, it lands on the buttered side. Now, the genius sees his cat and drops it a few times from different heights. He notices that it always lands on its feet. He then uses his 1000 IQ and tapes the buttered side of the bread to the cat's back. He then drops it, but instead of falling on the floor, it starts spinning rapidly. This happens because the cat is trying to land on its feet and the bread on its buttered side. This has now turned into a never-ending supply of electricity. He now lights up his town with his new invention because this nigga just invented.
There it is, butter biscuits all the way around with the kitty cat. Meow. Butter biscuits and the cat. Let's go.
That's the new Tesla.
That's it. That's science, man. That's right there. You saw it. That was science.
Tesla, man. Fuck that shit.
Totally makes sense right there. That's what Tesla was, buttering cats, man.
Yep.
Good thing cats have 9 lives.
That dude came to Colorado and like lit a bunch of shit on fire and then left.
Oh, they're headed off to Chicago. They have riots planned. They have riots planned for Chicago. So this is pretty funny too. Check this out. This is like if you dating a feminist, right?
I wish all men were feminists like you.
Here's that check for you, sir. How dare you assume that because I'm a man that I'm going to be paying for this whole dinner? Women are fully capable of paying for themselves.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to split the bill between you two then?
Actually, why don't we do this so we can really drive this point home for you, because you're giving me very misogynistic vibes. Leave the entire bill and she will pay for the entire thing because she is a strong, independent woman who does not need a man to provide. As a feminist woman, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess.
In that case, here's the check, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, this is expensive.
Oh, you got it. Absolutely not. As a feminist man, I don't want to imply that you can't defend yourself just because you're a woman.
Are you serious right now?
Just capable of defending yourself as a man.
All right, this. I'm dating a conservative.
I love it. That's good. Exactly.
No, I don't think you're capable of defending yourself. I wouldn't want to insult you by defending you.
Yeah.
So
that's all right. My wife plays that crap with me, and I play it right back. It was a couple of days ago. She's wanting me to hang the. She wants me to put an oven range over the oven itself. You know, the hood.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I don't need your help. You can do this, and you can cook." And I was like, "Fine, I can cook. I can do your work. I don't care. It's no big deal." Took me to, I was cutting up tomatoes, made homemade tomato soup, picked the tomatoes outside, mowed the grass, did everything else. She was on that thing for 5 hours, and I was like, "If you can do what I do, that's no problem." Sure enough, man, she came bitching, moaning, and everything else. I can't get it to work. I'm gonna call my dad. I was like, "Good job, honey. You did it. All right, call your daddy." I was like, "All right, yeah." So anyway, she's back in the city. I'm enjoying life right now, and we're all good.
That's funny.
Run into it. Yeah, you get that. Oh, I don't know, but should I play this guy?
You chauvinist pig.
No, I'll tell you, I've been meaning to tell people in the audience this too, and people that may be watching this later as a restream. If you watch this as a restream and there are things missing or it seems like there's a little gap where it just jumps, right? That's because YouTube hit me with some kind of thing that I had to fucking edit it out, or else they, give you problems. So,
he's saying that because of me. Because I'm the a-hole, and that's why I'm not sharing nothing from here on out.
Don't worry, man. I've been there. I've done that. I've shared some shit on somebody's show, and they get hit with the copyright, and I'm like, feel so bad about it. And it's like, no, don't feel. It's not you. It's fucking YouTube and the little small hat goddamn law firms and shit.
You keep making me feel bad about it. I'm not sharing nothing unless it's a picture, man. That's about as far as I'm going anymore.
I'm not trying to make nobody feel bad about it. It wasn't targeting you. I've even
you did it.
That I put up. Stuff myself that I put up, and I have to cut it out.
You told me Jim Brewer, man. You really did.
It did. It gave me a fucking thing on that.
But it's still up there. I went back to the thing, and you still have it up.
I know, because I cut it out.
Now I'm calling you out.
I cut it out.
It's still there.
What,
Jim Brewer's still there.
Thing?
Yeah.
Then it must have been the music in the background.
Maybe. All right. There was no music though because it was a stand-up comedy.
I don't know. It said that there was a copyright.
I'm calling you out, love, man. It's still there. That's all I got to say. So, but I'm not going to share nothing. I get the point. All right, we're cool.
Yeah, that's a whistleblower. We can get into that later too. That was a guy stood up right in the middle of a C-SPAN thing and called. Did you know there's people running away to Russia from the United States?
Yeah, it's called Forrest Gump syndrome. Stupid it is and stupid does, sir.
Well, I don't know, man. There's people leaving out of here. They're applying for residency. Putin signed a new decree that allows Americans to apply for residency for disagreeing with the liberal globalist policies of America.
Yeah, but I'd say South America is probably your safer bet, but that's just my own.
I don't think there is a safer bet. I think it's all run by fucking psychopaths. It's every place is run by fucking psychopaths and weirdos, man. Every place.
The reason I say South America, honestly, is because their technology is like 15 years behind us, and I've been down there, and you know what I mean? It's just like there's no way they're going to be able to keep up with you down there, but Russia does have technology that we have, and that's another reason I say that. So
a fun thing to do is you can try this yourself, right? Go to Google and type in what outer space movie came out in 1992. And then you can get your friends to do that too. So go ahead and try that right now. If you get a chance, go over to Google and type in what outer space movie came out in 1992. So let's see who can come up with the first right answer.
Gay niggers from outer space. No, he didn't. What? How bad is it? That's what the next one says. Not actual title of this film, it says, but that's what it says on IMDb.
Yes, sir. Yes,
what?
sir. Yeah, read what it's about. That's even funnier, man.
Scientific short film. Hold on, let me hit it.
1992, Maria. 1992, Maria. Joyce says, "Oh my God."
Science fiction short film directed by Danish performance artist Morten Lingberg, if I said it right. The film is a parody of science fiction and blaxploitation genres. The film follows up on an intergalactic homosexual black men from the planet Anus. Oh my God. Who discover the presence of female creatures on the planet Earth. Using ray guns, they proceed to eliminate females one by one from Earth, eliciting gratitude from the previously oppressed male population. Before leaving the planet, they leave behind a quote-unquote gay ambassador to educate the Earthlings about their new way of life. Wow. Wow.
Dan Clifton says my search has pink eye now.
No kidding. Wow.
So this guy did this with a POV. Told somebody in HR to Google that.
Look at her face.
I don't know why I typed that into my work computer, you big fucking tool. Why do I want that on my work computer? Stop videotaping me now.
Best place to do it too.
Movie right there.
That was the HR person, man. For the to get an HR person to even have that on their search history and shit. That's funny as hell, man. But yeah, I thought the guys get a kick out of that. Never fool around with anus. That's right, Mr. Super Sidewinder, man. Don't ever fool around. Jesus. The Levon affair. Oh yeah, I got some stuff on that too. We were looking at. This is kind of interesting. The Wizard of Oz. Maybe we'll play that here in a little bit. It's an explanation as to what it really actually is a representation of. Have you ever gone down that rabbit hole? Anybody?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it regarding
the Wizard of Oz
silver.
and gold and silver, and there was a who was the guy that he made a documentary on it? I can't think about it, but yeah, there was a documentary. If anyone hasn't seen it, that actually is a really good documentary breakdown of that book itself, and even showing Dorothy's shoes were silver. They weren't, like that red color before.
It's a whole lot. It was revolves around the whole central banking issue that was coming about at that period of time.
Who was it? The lion was the Brian. His name was Brian Governor Brian or something like that. He was Governor Brian, if you go back on that. But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of history on that. So
here's a little thing on it. It's kind of interesting. We can watch this for a minute.
William Bryant.
What it really
William Bryant. Do you remember? That was the president nominee of the time, and he was supposed to be like a coward, like the lion.
I don't know. I think it's explained in this, though. Let's check this out.
What it really means. This appears to be a message to expose the banking cartel in America, and to let the people know that they have the power to liquidate them, and get back to Kansas, the real land and republic. The Wizard of Oz, written by L. Frank Baum, is not just a mere story. What is Oz a symbol for? Ounces. What is measured in ounces? Gold. What is the yellow brick road? Bricks or ingot bars of gold. The character known as the straw man represents that fictitious, all caps, legal fiction, a person the federal US government created with the same spelling as your birth name. Remember what the straw man wanted from the Wizard of Oz? A brain? No juristic person, legal fiction, paper corporation has a brain because he or she has no breath of life. What did the straw man get in place of a brain? A certificate, a birth certificate for a new legal creation. He was proud of his new legal status, and all the other legalisms he was granted. Now he becomes the epitome of the brainless sack of straw who was given a certificate in place of a grain of common sense. Now, what about the Tin Man? Does taxpayer identification number, TIN, bring anything to mind? The poor Tin Man just stood there, mindlessly doing his work until his body literally seized up and stopped functioning. He worked himself to death, because he had no heart or soul. He's the heartless and emotionless creature, robotically carrying out his daily task as though he were already dead. He's the ox pulling the plow and the mule toiling under the yoke. These days, his taskmasters just oil him nightly with beer, and place him in front of a hypnotic television, until his very existence no longer has any meaning or value. His masters keep him cold on the outside, and heartless on the inside, in order to control any emotion or feeling that might arise. The cowardly lion was always too frightened to stand up for himself. Of course, he was a bully and a big mouth when it came to picking on those smaller than him. Have you ever noticed how bullies are really the biggest cowards? They act as though they have great courage, but, in reality, have none at all. They roar, but with no teeth of authority to back them up. When push came to shove, the cowardly lion always buckled, and whimpered when anyone of any size or stature challenged him. He wanted courage from the Grand Wizard, so he was awarded a medal of official recognition. Now, although remaining a coward, his official status allowed him to be a bully, but with officially recognized authority, and not at all unlike the attorneys, who hide behind the courts. What about the trip through the field of poppies? Did you notice how this had no narcotic effect on the straw man who had no brain, or the tin man with no heart or soul? They weren't real people, so drugs could not influence them. The Wizard of Oz was written at the turn of the century, so how could the author have known America was going to be drugged? The Crown has been playing the drug cartel game for centuries. Just look up the history of Hong Kong and the Opium Wars. The Crown already had valuable experience conquering all of China with drugs, so why not the rest of the world? What was the Emerald City? The Federal Reserve System. Who finally exposed Wizard for what he really was. Toto, the cute and somewhat annoying little dog. Toto means in total, or all together in Latin. What was it that the witch wanted after she alleged that the little dog had bitten her? Toto. Or everything. Notice how Toto was not scared of the great wizard's theatrics, yet he was so small in size, compared to the wizard, that no one seemed to notice him. The smoke, flames and holographic images of Oz were designed to frighten people into doing as the great wizard commanded. But Toto simply padded over, started barking until others paid attention to him and came to see what the barking was about. Who was behind the curtain? Just an ordinary person controlling the levers that created the illusion of the great wizard's power and authority. When Toto pulled back the curtain and completely exposed him, the charade was at an end. The veil hiding the corporate legal fiction and its false courts was removed. The wizard's game was up, and what was he after all? A con man, a fraud. We can see, in this tale, just how loud the bark from a little dog can be. Most of us remain silent and wait to be given whatever food and recognition, if any, by our legal masters. Let us not forget those flying monkeys. What perfect mythical creatures to represent the Bar Association attorneys, who attack and control the little people for the great Crown Wizard, the powerful and grand bankers of Oz. How, finally, was the evil witch destroyed? Pure, clean water? Liquidation. How did Dorothy finally get home? She simply clicked her heels. She always had the power, and so do we. What would it take to expose the wizard for what he is? We each need only a brain, a heart and soul, and courage. Then, and perhaps of the greatest importance, we need to learn how to work together. Only by working together, can we have the freedom that was given to us all, under the law of God.
Amen, amen. So I did put in there, Sovereign, if you haven't seen the bill still, I'm sure you probably have. I'm not going to play it because I told you I'm only going to do pictures. It's called The Secret of Oz documentary, directed by Bill Still in 2009. I put it in the comments. So anybody interested in learning more about that itself, this is a really good documentary if you haven't seen it.
Look at there's Flatzoid came up here.
There he is.
What's happening, Keith?
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you.
Good evening, my friend. Good evening.
I'm gonna check.
Just
over
imagine
here.
if our teachers gave us this lesson after showing us this movie in school. I don't know. Was this ever played to you guys in school when you were in elementary?
What, Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
No, it would come on TV like once a year. And you got to see it that way.
You know what's funny is that they claim that is well, I guess they claim that's the first film that was in color, but there was another film before that, and it had to deal with the kind of old world kind of stuff where they had babies that were being reproduced. It was the Cabbage Patch Babies. I don't know if you saw that, but that was actually the very first film, and I think that was in like 1902.
Yeah, but they're talking about color film.
Yeah, there were parts colored, and this one didn't. My mother remembered
the use of chromatic film, whereas what you're talking about was colorized later. They would actually individually paint the frames.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Colorize the frames. Yeah.
I'm a little bit young, so I guess I'm a little retarded. But hey, I'm slow to learn. That's okay.
But yeah, with the color and shit like that, I used to always joke with my dad, and I'm like, man, they didn't even have color when you was a kid. Everything in the world was black and white. What are you talking about? You know? And he'd laugh about that, and he says, yeah, that was great, man. One day they invented color. I got up and I couldn't believe my eyes, man. I didn't believe what I was missing.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh my God. He still has to go. 21 seconds ago, a minute ago, somebody said, can we get President Joe Biden up there already? I'm trying to hit the gym here, folks, and it's already 8:30, and that must be on the on the West Coast. That's on the West Coast. I mean, what the hell? This is way past Joe's bedtime, y'all. This is way past Joe's bedtime.
Well, West Coast would be 4 hours, or is it 3?
3 hours. 3 hours.
Supposedly, there's a new treatment for Alzheimer's and dementia. It was on 700 Club. This one doctor, Dr. Bredesen, he found that there's about 30 plus triggers in 10 areas that once treated, it can reverse cognitive decline. Pretty interesting.
Oh, wait, here it is live. He's coming out on stage live.
You guys want to learn about that tomorrow? Not myself. Well, it will be myself. I'm going to basically open it up for ironwork tomorrow. But if you guys want to learn a little bit about health and cognitive decline and all kinds of things that you can do outside of natural, these are just going to be natural kind of remedies, then join Ironwork 92,000, excuse me.
Okay, cool.
On your channel?
On Ironwork. I don't make nothing. I don't. Yeah, I'm outside.
Hey, y'all, here's the live. Here's the live.
Adoration toward President Biden.
He's just now showing up to the stage. This is the big thing. Now, what I'm interested in, they're saying he's going to pass the torch to Kamala, and I'm like, what does that mean? Is he actually going to resign the office of president on stage at the DNC, or what is he going to do?
Yeah, I've seen that. Right.
And there's a U-Haul truck at the White House. Like the president.
And he's also like 6'3" now, right?
Yeah, he's way tall now. He grew.
Way tall. Yeah. Totally different. Look at his whole. He doesn't even look the same at all. Is it just me?
No. There's been a host of actors, I think, playing this clown.
Well, I see Camilla has announced she wants to give abortions for free now.
They got a mobile abortion van outside of the DNC right now.
Well, you know what they used to say. If you want an abortion for free, you just have the husband just push the woman down the stairs, and boom, it's done.
Well, that can result in 2 deaths. Then.
I know. It was a joke. It was a joke, guys. Calm down.
But no, they're giving abortions out, and they also have a big inflatable IUD outside the place, and they're giving vasectomy. Thank you. The theme must be depopulation.
Yeah.
But that's exactly, it's part of depopulation. They've been pushing depopulation for decades.
Don't even look the same. Have you noticed? I mean, This guy, I don't know. If you watch that, or if you see the Illuminati game from Steve, whatever it was, Steve Jackson back in the 1990s, and the clones, you kind of think of that's what it reminds me of.
Well, shit, they don't even need to clone the fucking shit they can do with masks and the stupidness of the American people. They could run anybody up there as long as they resemble the guy. They wouldn't know any different.
Well, look at his double chin. He didn't have that before. Like 6 weeks ago, he didn't have that big double chin.
But even his jawline has changed.
Yeah,
Again.
that's what I'm saying. His double chin, the jawline, it's completely
For all you
different.
know, the guy's died so many times, they keep on having to get someone else to replace him.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's not even close to the guy I remember in the 80s.
That was my daughter.
Look at that thing. Oh, the one you take showers with? That was your daughter? That was the one you take showers with, right, Chuck?
Oh, yeah, she loves you.
Thank you.
Or your old self.
All I see up there is wee.
Yeah, it's the dumbest word in the world right there.
Thank you. Thank you for so. I tell you what.
They keep putting the cheer sign up to keep him from talking because they know he'll say something
Yes,
stupid.
they do, yeah.
To my dearest daughter Ashley, God love you. You're incredible. Thank you for the
Especially in
introduction.
the bathroom.
And for being my courageous heart, along with Hunter and our entire family, and especially our rock, Jill.
And our coke dealer, Guido.
Hunter keeps smoking that pipe, man.
She still leaves me both breathless and speechless. Everybody knows her. I love her more than she loves me. She walks down the stairs and I still get that going boom, 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 boom. Y'all will know me. No, I'm not kidding. Let's give a special round of applause to our First Lady, Jill Biden.
I can hardly wait
I
to
find
see
it
what kind of
ironic
a
that he says
tablecloth. I wonder what kind of a tablecloth she's wearing at this event.
Well, I find it ironic that he says that, yet he lusts after young girls and things constantly. It's like crazy.
Oh my God. And listen, this book I read called Unlimited Access, he would always request female Secret Service, and he would want to swim naked, and they'd have to watch him, see, because he's a fucking pervert.
Folks. And America, I love you.
Well, I'm glad I'm not American.
Yeah, I bet you are, man.
Folks.
Just send him a lock of your hair so he can sniff it, you know. Maybe he'll start getting a taste for South Africans. We'll send him over to your part of the world, Keith. You guys can have him.
Let me ask you, are you ready to vote for freedom?
Yeah.
Are you ready to vote for democracy and for America?
No.
No. Republic. What about the Republic, my friend? Where is that in the Constitution?
There she is, the hyena herself.
My fellow Democrats, my fellow Americans, nearly 4 years ago in winter, on the steps of the Capitol on a cold January day, I raised my right hand and I swore an oath to you.
Hey, maybe somebody will take a shot at this motherfucker too. You know, they've been copying all of Trump's moves. Why not?
And to faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States.
Well, these people are so dumb.
me.
If they had to try and reenact it,
front of me
they'll probably have blue blood, not red blood, just because it's it's the wrong color.
Exactly.
A Capitol just 2 weeks before and been overrun by a violent mob. But I knew then, from the bottom of my heart, that I knew now, there is no place in America for political violence.
Wait a minute. Is he bringing up the self-guided tour of the Capitol building that they freaked out about, where somebody almost RAPD'd AOC, and even though she was like a mile away?
That moment, I wasn't looking to the past. I was looking to the future. I spoke of the work at hand, the moment we had to meet. It was, as I told you then, a winter of peril and possibility. Of peril and possibility.
Peril and possibility.
We're in the grip of a once-in-a-century pandemic.
Oh, my God.
Historic joblessness.
Yes.
A call for racial justice long overdue.
Which we all know was set up bullshit, including the pandemic, all that shit. None of it was even fucking real. Orchestrated goddamn riots. The whole fucking thing has been a show from day one. Look at this crazy bitch. That bitch gets one more facelift, she'll have a beard.
Yeah, I believe then, and I believe now, that progress was and is possible. Justice is achievable. And our best days are not behind us, they're before us.
No, it's supposed to be they're ahead of us.
Now it's summer. The winter is past. And with a grateful heart, I stand before you now on this August night to report that democracy has prevailed.
Democracy's evil.
Democracy.
Communism has prevailed.
Demon.
It's fucking
communism.
horrible.
Socialism has prevailed.
He kind of does look like he does kind of look like old Hitler going on there.
He does. His stance on there.
He needs a mustache. That's all.
You've heard me say it before. We're facing an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine the fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. That's not hyperbole. I mean it literally. We're in a battle for the very soul of America. I ran for president in 2020.
Battle for the soul, huh? Yeah.
In August of 2017, extremists coming out of the woods, carrying torches, their veins bulging from their necks, carrying Nazi swastikas
from their necks.
Anti-Semitic bile that was heard in Germany in the early 30s. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan, so emboldened by a president then in the White House that they saw as an ally. They didn't even bother to wear their hoods. Hate was on the march in America. Old ghosts and new garments, stirring up the oldest divisions, stoking the oldest fears.
Is he trying to say because he ran for president, then they were too ashamed to show their colors?
I guess. I mean, I'm like,
guys, I'm voting Republican. It's over. This is ridiculous.
yeah, like it's gonna be.
I mean, seriously, this is nonsense.
This guy's got a
There are very
superiority
fine
complex.
people on both sides. My God. That's what he said. That is
How
what
about
he
neither
said and what
side?
he meant. That's when I realized. Had to listen to the admonition of my dead son.
And he's the one that's stirring up that kind of shit right now with his rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap.
Because I had no intention of running again. I just lost part of my soul.
What soul?
But I ran with a deep conviction. In America, I know and believe in an America where honesty, dignity, decency still matter. And America, where everyone has a fair shot and hate has no safe harbor.
Yeah, no doubt.
In America, where the fundamental creed of this nation, that all of us are created equal, is still very much alive. And a broad coalition of Americans joined with me. 81 million voters voted for us. More than any time in all of history.
Yeah.
And see, there again, the gaslighting.
Because of all of you in this room and others,
I mean,
we came together in 2020 to save democracy.
That whole thing is gaslighting. And when they're saying, "Oh, Kamala was never the first czar," no, yes, she was. What are you talking about? No, we've scrubbed all that. It didn't happen. Fuck.
Not going back. To stand against hate and violence in all its forms. To be a nation where we not only live with but thrive on diversity. Demonizing no one, leaving no one behind, and becoming a nation that we profess to be.
Except Trump.
No one.
I also
This
read.
guy,
Except Trump.
Guys, stop voting. Please stop voting.
Exactly.
Guys,
Stop
he's
voting. Both sides, stop. All of it. Stop voting. That's all.
didn't you see?
Oh my God, stop it.
But didn't you just see? He said demonizing no one, yet he down talks and demonizes anyone who doesn't follow him.
Right. Exactly. And that's all part of this whole thing. It's this divide and conquer strategy. And if people have not figured out that they're just playing both ends against the middle by now, and just going to go down and give their consent for whatever bullshit they've already decided to happen. You see, that's what would happen if nobody went? What would happen if nobody voted? I mean, I know that's impossible, but what would happen?
There'd be no government.
Good.
It'd be done. It'd be over. Stop. Everybody listening to this, stop voting, please.
Yep.
Stop. All right. Here's my point. Vote in your local stuff. If there's something that's going to come in and they're trying to add in a I don't know what toll road in your local area, vote for it. That's fine. But stop voting for the presidential elections, okay? Stop it. There's local things you can vote for. Perfectly fine.
You do that do have a consequence as a result of your vote. Exactly. When it comes to this shit, how does your life, this is the thing, they make it act as though your life is going to be different over whoever they put in that seat. Now let's keep in mind what powers do the president actually possess? What does he possess? He
Just
is
being a spokesperson.
Yeah, he's commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and he can either veto or sign legislation that comes across his desk. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, well, all people really do is just say, hang on, we don't want to think for ourselves, so let's make someone think for us.
Mm-hmm. But even still, he has nothing to do with you at all. He has nothing to do with any of the people that are in this audience or any other thing. He does not have the only thing he can do that can affect them is call up troops for war, or to veto or accept legislation that's come across his desk. That's it.
Interesting.
That's it. Executive orders are illegal. There's nowhere in the Constitution it says you have this dictatorial power of executive orders. So every one of those is an illegal dictatorial power that's assumed.
Correct.
I do have one politician that is an all-time favorite. Maybe you guys have heard of him, William Wilberforce of England.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
It's okay. Not a lot of people have heard of William Wilberforce, but he was a student, or he listened to his pastor, who was John Newton. He wrote Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, Wilberforce went into politics. He was very wealthy, He owned some land. He had some servants. He fed the poor, or sorry, the less fortunate. And when he entered politics, John Newton told him to take on slavery. So when Wilberforce took on slavery, U.S. in the UK Parliament, the votes for it were, I think it was 1 against to the 250 plus. But after, I think it was like 30 plus years, the votes, he had it changed the other way. It was like 200 plus against slavery, and I think 16 for. So that a lot can be done. It's going to take Christians though, because
Well, think about what they were even voting on. Think about what they were actually voting on. They were voting on whether or not it was okay to do something that was completely unlawful.
Oh yeah,
There
slavery.
shouldn't even be a question. There shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, it was
You know?
unlawful and awful. The
Yes.
conditions. Oh my goodness.
Well, in any just the fact that you have violated the individual rights of another man.
Yeah.
That's right there. Right there. That is, boom, unacceptable. Completely unacceptable.
That's true.
Even if everybody agrees that you should do something that is unlawful, it doesn't make it lawful.
Stop giving your consent, period.
Exactly. Too much of it. And it's hard because we're brought up in this. We've got it beat into our skull. They keep us reminded of it continuously.
Oh, yeah.
It comes about every 4 years, and then you've got your other bullshit elections that don't fucking matter either. But outside of that, what is poignant is probably your community elections, where people are deciding on things that are actually going to affect their lives. Okay. Whose ever ass polishes the seat at Pennsylvania Avenue is not got dick to do with your life. Okay. The only thing, well, unless they do sign something that is detrimental to the people, like, I don't know, a $6.2 trillion stimulus. And now you're wondering why the fucking everything at the store is costing a fucking mint.
Did you hear about that one Illinois mayor who took it's a female. She's refusing to hand over her financial budget to the oversight. And that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. She's like one of the worst mayors in the history of mayordom.
Worse than Lori Lightfoot? Or is that who you're talking about?
Oh no, I believe it's another lady in some Chicago suburb. She
Okay, 'cause-
basically, she was voted in, and basically she's taking advantage completely.
Well, I
It's
know that's
unreal.
exactly what the mayor of Chicago did. I know that. She was terrible. Lori Lightfoot,
Another one.
Beetlejuice. She looks just like Beetlejuice, man.
Right.
Terrible creature. Terrible creatures, these people. They're the worst. They really are. And they're the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no shit. They are the worst of the worst, and that's why they get out. This was funny as hell too. How to outplay libs with their own tactics. This was funny as shit. This was on one of those Spaces type things or whatever. Bring that up.
You see this too, Sovereign, for the clone? That was the one I was talking about.
Oh yeah, that's going all over on Facebook with the Illuminati cards. Is that from the Illuminati?
You can share that one afterwards if you're willing. I'm not gonna push start or
Yeah, I hear you. You ain't got to keep making on it, man. I do this. I get shit that I put up that goes on that too. So just chill, man. Anyway,
This is a queer fat club.
I'm queer and fat.
Okay, thank you for joining. We're just introducing ourselves at the moment.
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Joe?
Yeah, my name's Joe. I go by he, they, and I identify as 275 pounds.
Okay.
I feel like Jay's kind of making fun of me though. I know it's kind of a shock. I know, kind of a new thing.
I'm just,
Do what?
I said I apologize.
Oh no, you're good.
Are you comfortable leaving the group at the moment?
Why?
I'm not understanding why you're joining the group.
This is the queer and fat group now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I came here for.
Okay. And you said you identify as fat?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just for fat-bodied people.
Yeah, I understand. I identify as a fat-bodied person.
I'm not understanding where you're coming from.
Are you guys comfortable with me here? I mean, I'm pretty chill on my end.
I'm not comfortable, no.
Can we take like a vote?
Hit them with their own shit. Hit them with their own fucking shit.
This is a
Right?
queer fat.
I identify as 275-pound lesbian. Okay, so I'm here. This is pretty funny. On the Trump side, I usually don't. The only reason I like to look at this is to show how badly people are played, especially when it comes into this politics shit. And right now, we're in the midst of this shit, and I want more and more people to understand how badly they're being played. Now, we've seen nothing but these talk shows and everything out there. They hate Trump so bad. He's the worst. Oh my God, blah, 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 right? Whoopi, Stephen Colbert, all these people, right? But there again, perception, how are they speaking in another time? Let's take a look real quick. This is rather interesting.
And I want to thank you not only for being here, I want to thank you for running for president. Also, we got a great show for you tonight. Donald Trump is here. Yeah. Everybody loves him. There's no other way to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump. Who got the money? Who got the money? Who got the money? Who got the money? You got the money. Haven't they? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Speaking of doing a fantastic job, you are setting the world on fire right now.
Well, we're having a lot of fun, and I think we're hitting some pretty good issues, Stephen. And
I want to thank you not only for being here, I want to thank you for running for president. Because I'm not going to say this stuff writes itself.
Hampshire and Iowa, no matter where we go, it seems that the response, it just gets better and better. And the polls have been phenomenal.
You see Zogby?
Zogby was great.
33%. That came out today, right? Zogby, 33%. Incredible. I'm not surprised at all. I'll tell you why. Is because
I'm liking him a lot.
No, I'm liking you too. I'm liking you too. I'm not surprised at all because, especially in the Republican field, because
of a country, we have to create. Number one, we're going to build a wall. Number two, we're going to.
Okay.
Oh, listen to this. Even with your crowd, I hear.
No,
that.
they love. They love the wall.
No.
People love the wall. Well, Donald Trump, thank you so much for being here. Donald Trump is the leader for the Republican nomination. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Donald. Thank you so much, Donald Trump.
Everybody, Donald Trump, stop voting. Please stop.
But do you see how they try to guide perception? That same guy is now out there going, "Oh, fuck that guy. He's the worst." That's what he's wanting to show. Oh, you can't stand this guy. He's the worst thing ever, right?
That's right.
Flop, right?
So there you go. There you go with the clone. That's it. This card permits you to play from your hand a personality, i.e., Biden or whoever else, which duplicates one who has been assassinated. You may attempt to control that personality normally. If you control the clone arrangers, you automatically control the new card. The original personality no longer counts as a destroyed for the goals of whoever killed it.
Well,
if no one's seen that before, I mean, if they haven't seen this game, I used to have it. My wife, she got so kind of freaked out that I was getting into this kind of stuff, and she threw it away, and I didn't even know it until after the fact. And I was like, whatever happened? I was trying to point it out to other people. And I had the original game, and she's like, I don't think that you should be distributing that, and I don't know about the government, and you're anti-government. She came around. My wife's not like that anymore, but that's the way she was back then in 2011, 2010 or something like that. And yeah, that was that. So anyways, I lost it. I don't have it anymore. I used to, but yeah.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit. So there's this is, well, like I was saying with this, my problem with the cloning is this, okay? Whatever's going to be the cheapest and whatever's going to be the most expedient to do, I always look at that, all right? And I'm thinking it is so much easier to just have a stand-in, somebody that looks a lot like them with a little bit of makeup, whatever, even a rubber mask, than it would be to clone an entire human being and then run the risk of, having multiple.
I will give you the very next card on top of that. These are alphabetical, so you have clone arrangers on top of that. So, gives an attack of a personality by placing them with a clone. So there's a lot of people that have been discussing about like celebrities themselves. And there's a bunch of odd things. So, I mean, there is some kind of, again, there's not demonstrable evidence, and we shouldn't be bringing these things up in a debate or anything else. But again, to that,
I think that there would be more evidence of it if this was something, that would have already been revealed. Whether it be somebody who's actually worked in it or witnessed it being done or something like that. If they've been doing this all this time, I can't see them being able to keep it that tight. But hey, who knows?
Hey, NASA, man, NASA.
Well, there again, NASA has worked at first, but just like everything else, all lies see the light of day. Okay,
right. So it is coming to an end on top of that too. So we don't necessarily know. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to argue with it as I already have, but
Yeah, I mean it's not outside of the realm of possibility, but I just think it'd be easier to use one of them fucking rubber masks than to go and have a whole clone made.
I just don't understand how he can have a double chin if he's got a mask on. You see his double chin?
Yeah, a little wrinkle in the middle of the cleft chin, more like.
I don't know how you can have that if it's a mask. That's my point.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty convincing fucking masks. I've seen
there's some crazy shit out there. That's all I can say.
But I don't know if you're familiar with High Impact Flicks, Brian Young.
No.
So he put a post out here today. It said Trump is clearly an anti-Second Amendment and anti-vet. That anyone would humiliate themselves and vote for such a sick tyrant is insane to me. Now, that doesn't mean he's for Harris either, because he thinks she's fucking just as awful. He's about the same viewpoint as I have. Almost.
What's the name of the channel again?
High Impact Flicks. That's on Twitter. I don't think he has that on. Look for his newest one. Is called,
maybe.
You gotta let me finish talking so that you can know what I say, right? So on YouTube, he's got Here's the Deal, and those are like cop videos that he dissects. And then he's also got the newest one called The Disturbing Illusion. But on Twitter, he's High Impact Flicks with an X for Flicks.
Gotcha.
Anyway, he's got this thing out, and he says, this is about what they're, let's see, Trump backs red flag laws that could impact veteran gun ownership, which is bad, Willis, let's see, one of the first red flag gun confiscation law deaths in America was a vet named Gary Willis. Willis was a 60-year-old Navy veteran living in Ferndale, Maryland. The incident occurred when a law enforcement officers attempted to serve an extreme risk protection order at his home, which resulted in a confrontation and his subsequent death. So just the act of them going to try to confiscate those guns resulted in violence over somebody's allegation that they thought that he may commit violence. So they went there and violated his rights, and of course, what happens, right? Crazy shit that they were going.
Hey, Slav, how we doing tonight?
Yes. How you doing, Roger?
Doing beautiful. Hey, Butters, I didn't mean to leave you.
Hey,
earlier.
Roger.
I killed my phone while we were talking.
Oh,
It's been on
shit.
that long. Yeah.
Damn, that shit happens, man.
Yeah.
That shit happens.
Well, these
phones
apples don't
seem
last
they're,
that good.
it seems like they're dying faster and faster too, man.
Oh yeah, and they want you to buy another one for $800.
Nope, this is my last phone. This one fucking dies. I don't have a phone anymore. That's what I'm serious, man. I ain't playing.
I got you.
I ain't fucking
Buying
playing.
a flip phone, man. That's it. We're gonna type it out 3 letters at a time.
Yeah, I'll go with the post office after that. See, and then once that folds up and goes away, well, Luch doesn't come here, Moomin, Ryder. I don't allow Luch to come here because I think it's reprehensible for somebody to come in as a troll, play as though they're retarded so that you don't call them out for being a troll and use that as an excuse. No, I'm not. I don't want nothing to do with that guy. Okay. I don't like him. Right. If you can be told and explained why what you say is completely wrong more than 5 times and you still want to go Cavendish, just go the fuck away. Okay. Just go away.
You keep having me back on your show, man. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not bringing him here, man.
I'm talking about myself. I was messing with you. I was messing with you.
Luch doesn't have anything to offer to the show, so I don't allow.
Other than a laugh here and there, but other than that, nope.
Feel like I'm talking to Elmer Fudd. Can't do it. Let's see. I found some shit on the Antarctic sun. It says there's no evidence for a 24-hour sun in the Antarctic. We would have, and I've said this too, we would have hundreds of these videos if it were true. Instead, they fake them because they are religious fanatics desperate to hang on to their nihilistic worldview. Thought that was poetically said. And if y'all want to see the little video, it's only...
Sure.
Let me get it ready for the folks at home.
Get her done.
Nice.
There we go.
Alleged proof of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
It's
a 24-hour time lapse appearing to show the sun traveling around in a big circle and staying above the horizon for 24 hours. It looks pretty good. The shadows match well. The lighting seems right. The video seems pretty convincing. And the clouds don't repeat 24 hours later like they did in this video, where the exact same cloud pattern repeats a day later. It's crazy how much effort goes into faking these videos. Remember the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Thanks, George.
The clouds don't repeat 24 hours later. Instead, we're going to be looking at the sun with the same exact sun flares that repeat 24 hours later. I've synced the 2 segments of the video together. Remember, the bottom video is supposed to be 24 hours later. The clouds are different, and the lighting slightly changes, but the sun flares on the camera are exactly the same. I have freezed a few frames so that you can look closer. I'm convinced these repeating sun flares are impossible, as the slightest variation in angles and atmospheric conditions would alter the sun flares. But I could still see someone plausibly claiming that the repetition of the same sun flares over an approximate 12-hour period is purely a coincidence. Okay, I highly doubt it, but I can see the very slight possibility. But there is one more thing that repeats, which I refer to as the coup de grace, that proves that this video is indeed a fake. Here's the clip in question. Did you see it? Here it is again. Do you see the lighting artifact flash on and off at the same exact time.
Blinky,
Here it is again at a very slow speed.
Blinky, blinky.
The flashes are exact.
That's right. Blinky, blinky. Everybody, blinky, blinky. Let's make a song. Blinky, blinky.
There were some clouds added, but let me see where that. Let me see. I want to go back to this other part right here.
Actually, I don't think that the clouds were added. I think that they have the sun, particularly.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Let me see. Maybe he's here. Okay.
I have freezed a few frames so that you can look closer.
These
I'm convinced these repeating sun flares are impossible, as the slightest variation.
All right, wait a second. For instance, here and here, you see this coming down like this here, and this coming down like this here on this part.
Those are real clouds, but they're layering over the sun itself.
And atmospheric conditions would alter the sun flares.
See, those the same there.
But
there?
I could still see it. But
right there and there.
But in atmospheric conditions.
Right there and there. You see those two right there are the same. This here and this and this and this. That's the same. They added this cloud down here. Or maybe even erased it up here.
Added the sun.
I think it's probably easier to erase it. So they probably erased that cloud out of the.
Well, the reason I say they added the clouds is because look, this streaky cloud right here and this streaky cloud right here are identical. You got the same pattern of sun right here and here, and this is the same and this is the same. The only thing different is this big cloud right here.
Yeah,
it's the only thing different.
Yep.
Yeah, that flare is almost identical from what I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
it is identical. It's everything about it. This little streak coming down, there's the same little streak coming down, little gob right there. The only thing different is this big cloud right here.
Yeah, true.
This is straight from McGoon's library, isn't it?
I don't know where it comes from.
That where it came from. I think
a guy named Zetetic on Twitter posted it.
Yeah.
And so I kept that. Let's see what was else.
I think it's the same footage he brought to Sean when he was debating him and McToon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's that time lapse photography from Antarctica. Yeah.
I saw that immediately. That was one of the first things I saw. Was I was looking at the sky, the blank sky parts, and I was like, okay, those little artifacts there are identical. Not just the sun. There's some other artifacts in the sky that remain exactly the same too.
Yeah.
Well, here's a cool thing. Robot polisher. I think I found a robot polisher. Hold on a second here.
Not everybody can be one stuff.
No, not everybody can be one, but this guy, he can be one. He can be one because he's good at it, man. He's good at it.
Thing that's deceptively simple. Gravity. What is gravity?
We have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
The Earth is orbiting, chasing, and spinning. How do they stay geosynchronous? How does that one satellite stay over the Earth while the Earth is curving through space at crazy speeds in 4 different directions?
Because it locks into gravity in one spot.
It locks into gravity.
Have you ever heard of fucking gravity?
Dude, it locks into gravity. It locks into gravity. What?
So what about them orbiting the moon itself, and then they didn't use any kind of gas to get there, and now they're coming back around, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't speed back up or anything else, and it's the same thing, right?
Well, it's because it's a made-up nonsense story, man. None of it's going to make sense.
Yeah, they just try to push the limits on how ridiculous they can take the story, I guess.
Yeah. Then the dumber we get, the more ridiculous their story can be.
You can describe gravity, but when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know.
Gravity, although it's very weak, is very long range. It can reach across the universe and slow down the expansion of the material that came from the Big Bang, turn it around, pull it back together, turn it into galaxies and stars, and eventually planets and a place where we could live.
How to remember if you wake up late at night or something and get out of bed that you're not back on the space station. Because if you think you're back on the space station, you'll jump out of bed, try to float to go to another room, and you'll end up on the floor.
Gravity specifically contains the Earth's atmosphere.
Gravity holds it
like our gas in.
The air pressure on Earth is created by the gravity on Earth.
Gravity!
Contained because we have gravity.
Gravity is a container.
To say that we need a container is a red herring. It's called Newton's law of universal gravitation.
You ever heard of fucking gravity?
I just appeal to gravity.
Theory of gravity.
It's so easy to show that, gravity is the container.
You don't only have to appeal to gravity, you have to substantiate it.
The gravitational effect.
Earth requires gravity for any of this stuff to work.
I was drinking orange juice. So I had a quart of orange juice in a glass, and I poured a glass of orange juice for myself. And the person as close as I am to you, I passed the orange juice to them and just pushed it toward it. It would have worked perfectly on orbit. Made a great mess there, thanks to gravity.
Gravity!
People in Australia are upside down, but they don't feel upside down. That's how our model works. There is no up or down.
So there's not up on a ball. There is no up on a ball.
Launch on the Soyuz is amazing. Quite a bit different from the shuttle. The Soyuz is a bit more like, the whole gravity thing.
And basically, since we're in microgravity environment.
No, that was an acting job there with the guy that dropped the can. That was clearly an acting job.
Actually, go back and do it in like 0.25 and show how ridiculous his face looked. Because he was like, "Look, I just did magic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Look at my magic." I mean,
yeah. Go ahead, speed of that. Watch this.
Yeah, I mean, is a bit more like.
Look what I did. So cool.
So he looks around. Look, he looks around for a long time, and like, I don't understand why it's not where I left it. And then he's like, oh, look down. Oh, that's right. I'm back on Earth. What a crock of shit.
You freaking actor bullshit. Oh,
they're not even good. They're not even good actors.
Nope.
The whole gravity thing.
And basically, since we're in microgravity environment, you can learn about the human physiology by the lack of gravity. We can figure out about when we go further to Moon or Mars. And also because we understand better about human physiology, we use that knowledge to help our everyday life on Earth.
Everyday life. Wow, I have been affected.
The Earth
by
isn't flat.
That guy
This
was a DEI
is called gravity.
No,
Thank you for your diapers.
That's called dropping. That's called falling. Okay.
Yeah.
You claim that gravity is what's responsible for it falling. Okay. So the act of it dropping is not gravity. Gravity is not a verb. Neil.
It's called density.
Jesus.
Weight. Wow.
You can actually, if you don't believe me, go ahead and look up the definition of gravity and see if it's a verb. It is not a verb.
Wordt de urine opgevangen en I love this.
Oh, sorry, it fell down. Oops. Look at his face too. It's so telling.
Hurricane. You're pretty amazed.
He's like busted.
Yeah. I just buttered my nuggets. It's crazy.
Start taking pictures. You're pretty amazed, and you start taking pictures. And all of that of it. But then you forget.
Never mind.
She's like, don't draw attention to the ball that just fell.
It's okay. Don't say anything.
That there are people in danger down on Earth with the hurricanes and all that. So sometimes it's easy to lose perspective up here of what's actually happening down on the Earth. So when we see those hurricanes, we have to remind just how dangerous it is for everybody on the ground.
Oh, we lost perspective. We lost our perspective, right?
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
How do you lose your perspective in space other than
that's
dropping things?
simple.
And oops, I'm so sorry. I lost my perspective. Wow.
Remember when I said the other day that AI was going to send us all to hell?
No, wasn't here. Sorry.
Watch this.
Yes.
This is terrible. This is terrible.
What? That's terrible.
It is. That's what I was saying, man. If I had to see it, now you guys did too. So there.
Oh, thanks a lot. I want to go throw up now.
So, and this is what I was talking about. It said multiple police officers have come forward stating that Kamala is 100% intoxicated in this clip, and she would have been charged with DUI if she'd been behind the wheel of a car. Of course, I've seen people that blow complete zeros get a DUI. We've seen that more and more often. This is crazy.
That's messed up, man.
Because when we think about the strength of our democracy, you know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong in terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature. And it's very fragile.
Look at her hair's all fucked up.
It will only be as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Because when we
keep
on voting, everybody. Anyone that keeps on voting, remember, you're voting for retardedness. I don't know what else to say. Stop freaking voting for these idiots. There is no lesser evil. Evil is evil. Stop voting. Period. Stop voting. Stop. Please stop. All right. I'm done. Rant done.
So this is an interesting thing too. It said Rome never died, never faded away. And we've talked about that on here. It became the Vatican. We know that.
Yeah.
But who are they? Are they Anunnaki lizard Jews from Nibiru? It could be.
Who is the Pope? He is the Emperor of Rome. Rome never died, never faded away. It became the Vatican. What is the Vatican? It is the priesthood of all of the old pagan religions of Rome.
Amen.
Built upon the deception that they are Christian. Can man change the orders of God? Can man elevate himself above God? No. Then why did the Pope change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, the venerable day of the worship of the sun Osiris? Why in the outer courtyard of the Vatican is there a temple of the sun, an obelisk, and a reflecting pool built as a fountain around the base of the obelisk? Because what we're talking about in Dealey Plaza and in Washington, D.C. exists also in the Vatican. And I'm not trying to insult Catholics, I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
The Roman Empire is now led not by the Caesar, but by the Pope, and under the guise of international sovereignty. But that's they're trying to change that. It's going to go to, you know where it's going to go. It's going to go, they're going to try for this Zionist one world bullshit.
Yeah.
They're going to give it a shot. And Donnie's going to lead the charge for it. Watch. He's only propped up by Israel's fucking bullshit to begin with. Where do you think he gets such a wonderful PR campaign? Come on.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Romans, the empire, yeah, they even have the mind of the atheist, because the atheists get their belief from the Jesuit priest who invented the Big Bang Theory.
Hmm? It's
pretty ironic.
The beginning of it and the origins of it start with the Pythagoreans, this cult, and it was resurrected and brought more to light when the Reformation started taking place. The Jesuits, who were pushing for this to discredit the Bible.
Yeah.
And they've influenced just about every educational institution in the world.
Absolutely.
And structures of power. They work right hand in hand with the rest of these. See, because people think, oh, it's this group. Oh, it's that group. Oh, no, it's that group. If I choke you, which finger is choking you? Which finger is choking you? All of them are working in conjunction together to strangle you. Okay.
Literally your thumb.
You don't strangle. You don't strangle a person with one finger. Okay.
Yeah.
Use all of your fingers to strangle a person, and that's exactly what they do. And so when people go, oh no, it's the Masons. Oh no, it's this person's. Oh no, it's this group. No, it's all of them. Okay. They're working together whether they know it or not. So NASA clowns caught faking in space again.
They are heliosexuals.
Heliosexuals.
Yeah, and they love balls, and they can't give up their balls. So, because they have none, so they must continue with their balls.
So I ran across the thing here. It says that Bill Gates, a whistleblower, says that Bill Gates is seeding monkeypox in the major cities with chemtrails. What do you think, man? Is that possible?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he also likes his mosquitoes too, doesn't he? Down in Florida and all of that.
Yeah. That's right. The vaccinations mosquitoes.
Don't forget about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Wow. I gotta wonder what the hell kind of a megalomaniac. I mean, is he even a real person, or is he just another one of the characters? Is he one of the Dr. Evil characters that they're putting out there in front of us to,
$1 billion.
Because I don't think that one man actually has any kind of power like that. I think that it's groups behind these men.
Yeah. Did you see his dad? There was a video of his dad that showed that maybe he was the puppet master behind Bill.
Possible, man. The kid was not right as a kid. I know that. I've seen him in his a deposition regarding the antitrust case, or what was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dude is like so on the spectrum, it's not even funny, man.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I felt bad for him. He didn't understand how to fucking react or anything. He was just. That's why I say there's no way. Him and Mark Zuckerberg. There's no way you can convince me these guys are geniuses. There's no way. They're front men.
Absolutely.
There's no way you could convince me of those people. And Elon, no, he ain't no fucking genius. There ain't no way.
The only genius thing he did was get hair grafts, and that's about it.
Well, Bill Gates' daddy was a lawyer, right? So he's got lawyer money. He's built his empire on.
Yeah, they helped get Planned Parenthood started.
Yeah.
Well, that's always.
Isn't that lovely? Yeah.
Oh, did you hear about this girl? She's her name is Victoria Cameron, and she's for a 100-meter state champ in Texas. And this girl, I've never seen a human being's legs move like this. This chick can roll, man. Watch this. Watch her go.
Wow, out very aggressively. That is Cameron.
Look at her go.
Look at those arms pumping. Actually, she wasted zero time. She got out so aggressively.
That start, and then she held on through the line.
Wow.
Incredible performance from
11.35 seconds, man. 100 meters in 11.35 seconds.
Oh, now they're going to have to come up with a transgender that can beat her.
You know what? The only thing is, I didn't see the front end. I didn't see a penis, so I really couldn't tell because it was more of the back end. So I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm saying, but I'm not saying. But I didn't really get to see the front end of it. So if I saw a penis,
close out anyways. There ain't no. How would you be able to tell?
On the front end?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
How would you be able to tell by looking at him from the front?
Who? Michelle Obama. I mean, I've seen.
Nobody knew anything until they seen her dick through her dress.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't get to see the front end. If I saw Michelle Obama running,
they're not.
I say, "Holy moly! There it is! There it is! There's the penis." You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I really couldn't see the front end of it. If you can put it in like slow motion, maybe I could tell. But
yeah, I don't think we're gonna find one.
I'd have to analyze this a little bit further. That's all I'm saying. I have to analyze it. That's all.
I bet her favorite planet is Uranus.
Most likely, most of these guys is globetards. That is their favorite planet.
That's what she said.
Yeah, they're trying to scrub all the shit and gaslight people, all the shit that regarding people's records or anything. Well, let me show you something. This is why, if any of you got kids out there, be careful what you're letting them watch. You know, we know that out here on YouTube, they've got a section called YouTube Kids, right? So my mom, this title of this says, my mom found this in my little sister's watch history on YouTube. Now she's not allowed to go on the internet anymore. Anyway, let's see what the kid was watching. Let's see what the kid was watching.
Girls can be black or white. I say, oh, this just say boo. That girls are poets too. In my notes app, I write down how much cocaine I need to buy. In my notes app,
what?
I write down how I need dick for a guy who's bi.
What? Here's how. Hey, Zav, I just want to point out, if you get cut off this time, that's on you. That's not me, man.
I know. Are you still on that, man?
Yeah, I am, man. I'm just like,
God, I thought my dog was bad,
man. I don't know what to say. I'm like, I don't want to be like the a-hole that brings up crap, but no, I mean, whoa, this stuff is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's just enough, and it's what the hell are you actually allowing kids to watch that? You know, and they don't know. They figured it's safe because it says YouTube Kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything should be supervised, in my opinion.
Well, you got to be careful because that's who they want. That's who they're after. Listen, we know how impressionable kids are. Look, everybody's globetards, man. We happen to break people away from that fucking impressionable shit that was done to them as children. And they do this. It's like this with any of this crap. You're giving your kids away to the government to be indoctrinated. They spend more time at their school than they do with you.
And if they're at home, they're on their computer or they're on their phone. So, and you have no idea what they're doing.
I just want to make a point, Sav, right quick. If they have time to censor flat Earth stuff, they got time to go through those YouTube videos and get rid of that crap that kids watch, dude. If they can put that much effort into it, as they put into censoring alternative topics like flat Earth and whatever else they want to do, they have time to go and take care of this bull crap they're showing kids. That's simple. They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're part of the whole fucking agenda. Why the hell do you think they do censor us and shadow ban us? Right? We're not up here encouraging people to cut off their junk. We're not up here encouraging people to go out and do cocaine. Nobody's up here encouraging people to go out there and look for a big D from a bi dude. Nobody's doing any of that on this, but no. That thing will get promoted all over the place and we get shadow banned. You see?
Yeah.
So what's that tell you? Where are they at? They're the problem, right?
No, we're the problem. Are you kidding me?
I agree.
We are the problem.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is this thing? Let's see what this is.
And then we get labeled as Trump followers because, we need to be Nazis and all this kind of
Yeah. Oh, I know. My God. I've never seen more in my lifetime than I have in the last couple of years. The misuse of the word Nazi, which
that's why I pointed it out. You can point it out. Go, Saab, go. I'll let you go.
Okay. How are people that you're calling Nazis displaying any of the political ideals of the Nationalist Socialist Party? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, number one, do you vote? And if you don't vote, then how are you a part of it?
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not a part of any of this.
Anybody, I mean, if you don't vote, how are you a part of this Nazi quote unquote? This is when I was working.
Well, what they're trying to do is equate racist with the political ideology. That's what they're trying to do. That's all.
Correct. So this was back when Trump was the president. That was quote unquote my president. So this is your president does this, and I was like, I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote. Period.
I don't have a president.
Tell me that he's my president because I find that offensive. What is the point of keep pointing out that that's my president when you don't vote? Well,
I don't have a president. I don't have a president.
I don't have a president. Exactly. Thank you.
I don't have a president. I don't recognize that office. I don't recognize that title.
Or that person. Right.
Right. That's just some dude that lives in a fucking marble palace in the District of Criminals. I ain't got nothing to do with that fucking character. Not at all.
But somehow they kind of point you and put you in some kind of box that you are, this is what you're saying, so therefore that's your president. And I mean, how do you deal with that stuff?
I just say I don't have a president.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not even going to engage in it. You're the one that went out there and voted, not me. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't have a president.
Obviously you conducted or condoned the action by voting, and that's you, not me.
Yep.
Go ahead. You're president because you condoned it, and I didn't because you voted. I don't care if you voted.
I've never had a need for one.
Yeah.
I've never had a need for one. In fact, I've never had a need for any of them fucking clowns. If anything, they've been a detriment to my existence rather than an asset to it. So I don't even understand what's going on with that, man. Why do we have them?
Yeah.
They just start problems. They're always creating problems that we
There's
wouldn't have.
laws on top of that in the presidency, which are not laws and they are not constitutional. And
well, then you're attacking the wrong guy, man. You're attacking the guy that's supposedly given the final approval on it. You need to be going after the son of a bitch that's writing shit like that up. And then furthermore, after the other sons of bitches that go to voting for it.
Yeah, the law was on the tip of my tongue. Like, how many is the U.S. the leader in world prison population per capita?
Not even close. Oh, no. Actually, I think it was Sweden for quite a while, and I can't remember who else, but yes.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering because I know the United States leads the world, in my opinion, in propaganda. I wonder if that affects the size of the prison population.
I don't even think they're per capita. I don't even think they're right around the end of the top 25%. That's it. So you understand that? So that's it. They're not even in the top one or whatever. They're not the top number one. They're not even within like the top 10%, 20%. I think they're within 25% per capita. So if you want me to prove that, I'll bring it up and I'll find it. But
that makes sense. I'm just wondering. And then what about not per capita? Do they have the largest numbers?
No, there's only 350 million. So now if you bring up India, it's like, or China. China is actually behind India now, if I understand correctly. I think India is like 1.2 billion. So it's not even a third of.
Here's what I want to know: how the fuck they actually know that?
Yeah, but I'm just going off of their claims itself. So that's all. You know,
that's what I wonder about these censuses. I'm like,
I don't believe it. That's crap, but their claims. Yeah, supposedly. All right. So thank you.
How to lie with statistics. That's what they're doing. Anyway, let's see what this thing is here.
I feel way more safe in a place where the people are legally armed. If something happens like a mass shooting, I have a way less chance of being lethally harmed. A criminal is gonna think twice if he knows everybody is a piece underneath their clothes. And Mayor Lightfoot will probably tell you different, but have you seen Chicago? And no, before you ask, I don't want to be like Canada either, and I don't want to be like Australia. I'm sick of everybody using them as the humanity meter. There's a reason that they can do whatever they want to their citizens, like fucking throw them in camp. And there's a reason that our government doesn't even try that shit, because they know that they can't. If you don't think for one split second that if we didn't have our Second Amendment, the government wouldn't overstep its boundaries and make us do shit even when we're against it, you're out of your mind. I don't give a damn where you stand or how or what you vote. That's dandy and fine if you trust Uncle Sam, but I, for one, fucking don't. And why would I? What have they done? Give me a reason for me to believe them. They want to trade me a little security in exchange for a big-ass piece of my freedom. They don't want to take away guns because they care about you and they want to keep you safe at night. They want to take away guns because it's easy to control people if they don't have any way to fight. Hey, buddy, what your little AR-15 gonna do if the government comes to take you? Well, Ukraine started handing out rifles to all of the citizens when the Russians invaded, so what about that? I thought it wouldn't help. I guarantee that it'd be better than nothing. I hope it never does, but if the day comes, I bet that you're gonna wish that you had something. This is the only country on earth where the people have real strength. And nowadays, with all the shit going on, it's the only thing that makes me feel safe. If there's anything that I've learned in the past couple of years looking back at the pandemic, all of the shit that we have is fragile, and it can snap at any second. Fuck all of the politicians. I don't trust anything they say. Take the word gun out of gun control, and that's all that it is at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck how crazy you think that I look or I sound when I say this shit, but our Second Amendment's the only thing that stands between us and a dictatorship.
That's right. Samsung, guys, if you haven't seen his other videos, he's got one on Nancy Pelosi. He's got, he has some really good
I
stuff.
feel way
in it, but
I have a question for you guys.
In that line where he says it's so that when the government oversteps its bounds, they've done that. They've done that. And they keep doing it more and more and more. And you know what the people do? Nothing.
Nothing. They just go back to sleep and they watch their TV and they eat their popcorn and they go to the.
Well, they'll say stuff on Facebook, right?
Yeah,
they'll say stuff on Facebook, and they'll say stuff on Twitter, and they'll tell about how they'll puff their chest and how they're ready to do something. But when it comes down to it, they won't do fucking shit.
They'll ride like my boy right here in Tesla, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's real." That's pretty much it.
Yeah, the Second Amendment does sound pretty ideal, especially for use against wild animals potentially. But I don't think the Creator wants us to use weapons on our brother, even our worst enemy.
Well, self-defense. The self-defense, absolutely.
Where does your right to bear arms come from?
Go and buy yourself a sword.
No. Anybody else? Is it the Second Amendment give you the right to bear arms?
From the Creator.
That's right.
God's law.
That's right. Okay.
Which is
so what is the Bill of Rights? What is the Bill of Rights?
Sword.
What is the Bill of Rights? The Bill of Rights is a list of unalienable rights, unalienable rights granted to you by your Creator. Okay?
I agree.
So it's a list of shit that they can't fuck with. That's all.
Can't touch this. No.
Right. But the people are allowing them to by having hate speech laws. Donald Trump and is wanting to have anti-Semitic speech laws, punishing people for things they say.
Free speech areas, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is just more of the same bullshit. And if you think that this one guy is any better than this doofus they've got in Chicago right now, well, you're sadly mistaken, man. They're both fucking tools. And besides that, your vote's not going to count no way. So
here's my question with the free speech areas. Can you go into the free speech areas and then go on YouTube and just say whatever the hell you want? Because you're not going to get kicked off.
No, you can't.
A free speech area and be like, "Hey, I claim it, bro."
Yeah, but you were in a
area as a free speech area, so therefore we're good.
No, I could shoot I could shoot that down in a second.
Why don't we go ahead and do that? All right, go ahead.
Because once you broadcast it outside of that zone, you've now broken the ordinance.
What the hell is an ordinance, anyways? Go ahead.
Yeah, right. So there you go. But that's how they would enforce it. Right?
And what's a statute? What's an ordinance? That's the other question. So, all right, does that supersede the Constitution? Yes or no?
Well, having a free speech area does. Right off the bat. So the boundaries and limits, the boundaries and limits of something that's unconstitutional in the first place is a moot point.
Right. Okay. All right. Gotcha. I was going to say, no, it doesn't, because the Constitution overlaps everything else. But all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right.
No, it doesn't. There's only free speech zones if you agree to it.
If you agree to it. Exactly.
I don't agree. I'm not in that game. I'm not playing it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to go to those places and be like, oh, this is the area of good speech. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, some of this stuff I have on here, there's no way I can show it here on YouTube.
Hey,
and
if you get
going back to that little group,
it ain't my fault.
Going back to that little, no, I'm still gonna say it's your fault. Don't matter. So just you showing up here, anything goes wrong with the stream, it's your fault.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Let's see, but yeah, I have a lot of material regarding a certain group of a very small segment of the population that seems to be overly represented, and they don't like that.
I mean, they're only 2%. I mean, who?
Don't matter.
The ones that count.
Okay, all right. I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm just saying. Yeah, the penguin is only 2%, but they're 70% and 90% in other aspects. And okay, got it. All right, yeah. So if anybody doesn't get that, I'm just trying to clarify. But all right, 2, 70, 90. Okay.
Cool. That's a good question, Jehovah's daughter. That's a great question. So who gave the president executive order power? Abraham Lincoln assumed that power. This is one of the many dictatorial. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nope. Go ahead. It was 1865. It was actually before his death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he actually gave that.
No, he was doing it during the war. He was issuing executive orders during the war. This is another reason he was viewed as a tyrant.
That's right.
He was assuming dictatorial powers that were not constitutional, and it set precedents. So what I was going to ask you though, guys, is this. I wanted to cover this real quick before I get off of here. Green lasers scanning the ground from above. I've seen a few videos about this. Has anybody out there seen this? Where there's supposedly these helicopters, an aircraft with green lasers that are scanning the ground.
Why would they use green when red is?
I don't know, man. That's what I'm wondering. There's video of it occurring, and I just wonder if it's like contour mapping or what the fuck are they doing, you know? Because I know that when you ever see those crystals that are 3D that they've got like an image inside of them? Mm-hmm. So my wife and I did our wedding picture that way when we got married, right? And had it embedded in a crystal heart. And when we had that done, we sat in the pose, and there was all these little green dot lasers that hit us, like a million of them all over us, right? For a split second. Or just for a minute, and then boom. What that was doing was measuring different distances, I guess, with it of the three-dimensional surfaces, and then recreating that when they burn it into the middle of the crystal.
Can I bring a movie up?
Well, I got one I'm getting ready to show right now. But
the 13th floor, before you watch it, the 13th floor is all in green. Do you remember that movie at all?
Oh, it's been a long time. I remember that about 20 years ago or more.
All right. Yeah, probably. But the 13th floor, they're going out there and everything's in green. So I wonder what the green is, because obviously red is going to, if you put a red target on somebody, it's going to be more accurate. The green's not going to work at all. But what is it with the green itself? But
I don't know. I know that a green laser doesn't work worth a shit when it's really cold.
Right. Yeah, it's total BS. But I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna watch what I'm talking about first, so you know what we're getting into.
So there are several videos going viral right now of what's supposed to be green lasers descending from the sky.
People's homes scanning the ground with that green laser.
People started paying attention after this particular video went viral. In this video, you can see a plane flashing a green laser and kind of scanning the ground. This made a lot of people start questioning what the heck was going on. Where were these green lasers coming from? And then just a couple of months later, a CCTV camera captured what looks like several green laser beams of light descending from space. Needless to say, this caught a lot of attention, and experts and researchers were saying that this probably came from a Chinese satellite, but no one knows.
What the is that?
Now this is where things take a really strange turn. Just a couple of months after, there were several videos popping up all over the internet of what's supposed to be these green laser beams descending from the sky.
What in the ever-living
fuck
is that?
This caught so much attention it ended up on the news, and they actually found out that some of the planes scanning the ground with these green lasers were owned by a company named Randigo, but still, no one knew why they were doing this.
I was just getting home and I saw it going back and forth with a laser beam, and it scanned over me multiple times. I've never had flight radar until this happened, because I'm like, what the heck is going on? But it shows that what kind of plane it was and what type of plane. I don't know who owns it. It just says private owner.
When you put the information Casey provided into the FAA website, it comes back with this information saying it's registered to Randigo.
Little by little, people started researching about Randigo, and they found out several patterns. In one of them, you can see several pictures coming from flight radar of the plane's paths. Whatever they're doing, it's as if they're scanning something, maybe weather patterns, maybe something else. In another Reddit post, someone found out that the company owns 33 planes and 33 employees. And I don't know why, but this raised a lot of red flags.
He was going to crash into the house. Wait till you see the laser coming off the bottom of it. Check the radar map. He's 1,200 feet off the ground. You see that green laser coming off the bottom?
They have 33 planes registered at that company. 33.
And then another Reddit user posted something like this. This plane flew over me this evening and was spraying something. Smell was awful. So I did a quick research just to double check if this plane was owned by Randigo, and guess what? It is. Strange, isn't it? What the heck is going on? It seems no one knows, but I want to know your take. What are these green lasers descending from space and from planes? What's going on?
It looks like mapping to me. That's what they're like gridding out a section, seeing.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, man. 13th floor, yeah.
So if you guys haven't watched that video, I mean, it is pretty. It's interesting, but that's it.
And real quick before I sign out here too, kept bugging me to watch Squid Games. And I finally sat down, started to watch it, and I'll tell you what, no. That was the dumbest fucking shit. The worst acting of any type of a reality show that I've seen in the longest time. I was like, I don't see any point to this thing at all. This is ridiculous. So no, I'm not going to watch that. Anyway.
So what was it about? I have no idea what it is.
Well, it started out they had these people, I guess they're all competing to see who can be the one to win and make all this money, right? And like the first one was called Red Light, Green Light. And they had this big creepy doll, and every time it turned around, they had to stop, and it would scan the audience, and anybody that moved, their little ink pack would splat inside their shirt, and they had to drop down like they were dead. And I was like, what in the fuck is this dumb shit? I don't know. Oh, it's another one too.
Kindergarten teacher, man.
let's not forget about this too, voters. Let's not forget about this too, right? He's still bragging about this.
So we never really got the credit we deserved for that with the ventilators and all of the different things that we did, the outfits, a lot of things. We were producing in New Hampshire and different places, masks. We had mask factories opening. So we never really got the credit we deserved.
He's bragging about it. He's the godfather of the fucking jab and all
Stop
that.
voting, people. Stop it. Knock it off and stop voting. Please stop.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Please stop. These people are crazy.
I'm going to jump over here to Twitter real quick and see if there's been anything new with Joe, assuming his shit on stage here. We saw a little bit of him talking live. He was uncharacteristically coherent, I noticed. That was one thing. So I don't know. He passed his sunglasses to her. I don't think it was a resignation of office, though. Yeah, so that was just a formality. I don't know what's going on. It says here, somebody says, thank you, President Joe Biden, for all that you have done to save this democracy. We're not a democracy, and for your amazing courage. I get so sick and tired of people saying that, and they don't even know how their own fucking country's supposed to work.
Thanks for saving the communism. You're so great.
Yeah, totalitarianism. My God, they want to be every aspect of your life. They want full spectrum dominance over your existence, man. And it's bad. People got to get out of the idea that there's some people that are going to come fucking save you. Some slick talking goddamn salesman is gonna save you from this bullshit. No. Every time you put one of these motherfuckers in there, they go about making it worse and worse.
Well, he predicted everything that was going to happen, Sav. I mean, This guy himself, he is protected by God. He got shot in the ear, and he was protected by God.
That's right. He almost died for our sins.
He was protected, and he also told the future. This is Deuteronomy 16.
I know the miraculous healing abilities, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
everything that was going to happen.
He almost died for our sins. Almost.
Deuteronomy 16 says that if he predicts it, then therefore it will happen. So it did happen. Therefore, we should actually believe him. And it really did happen exactly as he said. So, I mean, come on, Sovereign. I mean, seriously.
Well, that's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Trump. You know, what else
Trump said it. Therefore, it's going to happen. It did happen. And we must vote for him.
Absolutely.
If anybody's on here actually believing what I'm saying, stop voting. Please stop voting. And stop encouraging these idiots. Stop it. Knock it off. Stop. Please stop.
Did you know that, you know how people get offended when you use the word retard? Right? They, you shouldn't use that. That's offensive, right? You imbecile.
Means slow to learn. That's all that means. It's literally, that means slow to learn. I tell my kids all the time, I just said retard. That means slow to learn. So please, kids, don't take it offensive. It means slow to learn. So don't be retarded.
Well, what'll crack you up is they'll say, that's offensive, you idiot. Or you moron. That's offensive. Imbecile, moron, and idiot are all degrees of retardation. That's what I find so ironic about this. And I've said this on the show before. I just wanted to show this before we wrap things up here.
Imbecile, moron, and idiot. They're not just mean names that people call each other. They're medical terms, and they all apply here.
What do you think when Hillary Clinton said, I see improved relations with Russia from a position of strength only as possible?
I agree with Hillary.
Hillary Clinton said, immigration is a privilege and we should not let anyone into this country who doesn't support our communities, all of our communities.
Well, I virtually have to agree with that.
Hillary said, in order to achieve the American dream, let people keep more money in their pockets and increase after-tax wages.
Yes, okay.
it's in order that's a great idea, so that we can start to move everybody up and start moving people out of the level of poverty.
And obviously runs fairly severe contrast to what Donald Trump is proposing.
Absolutely. Many of her comments run severe contrast to Donald Trump.
What do you think of this quote from Hillary? There's nothing I love more than women, but they're really a lot different than portrayed. They're far worse than men, far more aggressive, and boy, can they be smart.
I agree. I've worked for 38 years in the hospital with women, and that's a very accurate.
And you think that's obviously a sharp contrast to her opponent?
Absolutely.
You're watching the Kramer Says Project.
Problem is all those things that he said were not attributed to Hillary Clinton. Those were all things that Donald Trump said. These people, that's what I'm saying. They'll just go along with something. They don't even know. They don't even know. It's like our upward acceleration people. They're not really. Are you not realizing you're in the same boat as the rotating Earth people, right? You're in the same fucking boat. You just got a different direction happening. That's it. That's all. Anyway, I think I'm going to set this thing down here tonight. Let me see. Did I have anything else that I wanted? Nah. Save some shit for tomorrow night because we got our regular Tuesday show tomorrow, 9:35. We'll be here. Also Wednesday on Jaren's channel, we're having the Mystery Theater 420, but this one's going to be a special one, so kind of tune in. It's going to be some things changing in the way we do the show, so it'll be really interesting. I think you guys will like it, so check that out. And anybody got anything last they want to say before I cut this thing off?
Join Ironworks tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be going over health. Health is wealth. So other than that, yeah, that's it.
All right. What about you, Eden? You got anything?
And a special guest. So if you guys are willing, able, join it. Ironworks 92,000.
Right on. So what about you, Eden? You got anything to leave us with?
Thanks for letting me hang out with you guys. I challenge everyone here to learn the 10 Commandments by heart. And even if you don't want to follow them, at least try to memorize them. You'll know more about them than most people. And yeah, thanks, Sav and Butter Biscuit. It's been a pleasure.
Right on. All right, guys. So until next time, tomorrow, don't forget, Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him because he'll probably end up killing you. Good night, everybody.